with Entyvio. For maintenance therapy, you and your doctor can choose between intravenous infusion or the Entyvio pen, a self-administered injection under the skin you can take at home or on the go. Discover your options at Entyvio.com. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Ask your healthcare provider about Entyvio.
Every weight loss journey has a before and an after, but all too often, your after is short-lived, and you find yourself right back where you started. Back to before. Break this cycle with help from Optavia. Our holistic approach includes nutrition, personal coaching, even GLP-1 options if appropriate, through our collaboration with LifeMD, so you can crush your goals and commit to transforming your weight loss journey. Say bye-bye before and hello after the after with Optavia. Learn more at optavia.com/results.
Hi, I'm PJ Vogt, here to tell you about my podcast called Search Engine, voted one of the best new podcasts by Time Magazine, Vogue, and The Economist. We answer fascinating questions about business, tech, and history. Questions like, who should be in charge of artificial intelligence? Or how did ADHD medication get so popular so fast? Listen and follow Search Engine with PJ Vogt and Odyssey Podcast. Available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Cubs in Baltimore. It's game 2 of a 3-game set. Who Are You Banking On is sponsored by Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Dansby Swanson is 9 for 15 in his career against Corbin Burns with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. So even though Swanson is mired in a major slump entering tonight's ballgame, I'm banking on Dansby tonight. The pitching matchup is sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. What a mound matchup. Shota Imanaga is going for the Cubs. Corbin Burns for the Orioles. But before we get to the matchup, here's the anthem.
You see, by the dawn's early light, was so proudly we held at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies ray clear, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Joseph Johnson performing the national anthem in Baltimore tonight. The national anthem sponsored by American Sail. Bring the fun home. Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Cubs and Orioles. As we were talking about the pitching matchup, Shota Imanaga going for the Cubs. 7-2 with a 3.16 ERA. He's coming off back-to-back quality starts against both San Francisco and Philadelphia. Meantime, Corbin Burns, the ex-Brewer, 9-3 with a 2.32 ERA here with the Orioles, the second lowest mark in the majors. In the previous 2 years, Burns has started 5 times against the Cubs, all with Milwaukee, and the Cubs have won all 5 games. So maybe that's a streak that will continue tonight now that Burns is in Baltimore. It's time to go around baseball, sponsored by Great Clips. For your next haircut, go to Great Clips. It's going to be great. Game 1 of a doubleheader in St. Louis. The Royals beat the Cardinals 6-4. Salvador Perez went deep for KC. The second game is yet to get underway. Also, game 1 of a doubleheader on the south side. The White Sox beat the Twins 3-1. Game 2 is in progress. Top 6. Twins and White Sox are tied at 2. Here in Baltimore, it's time for baseball. Cubs, Orioles, Pat, Ron, next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Jamison Tyone. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
James Hardy knows how important your home is. That's why they made America's #1 brand of siding. Trusted by homeowners in over 10 million homes from coast to coast. Siding from James Hardy gives your home a beautiful design without compromising on durability and protection. James Hardy also knows how important it is to support your hometown and root for the home team. James Hardy, siding with your home team. Visit jameshardy.com to request more information today.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
At Innovative Ketamine, we're seeing life-changing results for over 75% of our patients with severe depression when nothing else has worked. Plus, we have experienced on-site therapists. Visit innovativeketamine.com.
If you're an adult with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, you have options with Entyvio. For maintenance therapy, you and your doctor can choose between intravenous infusion or the Entyvio pen, a self-administered injection under the skin you can take at home or on the go. Discover your options at Entyvio.com. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Ask your healthcare provider about Entyvio.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is presented by Health Markets. Shop for health insurance your way.
And now, Odyssey and 670 The Score bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Get out the tape measure, long gone. Back in the stands. That ball is gone. A game-winning home run. Can you believe it? This is what you came here for. You got the Cubs game on the score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by Benjamin Moore, Vinny's Beverage Depot, Hefty Trash Bags, Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha, Bosch Power Tools, James Hardy Building Products, Sloan, Stella Blue Coffee, Traffic Tech, Wintrust Community Banks, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, Granger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field, Atturo Tires, and by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. And now, here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer, with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Oriole Park at Camden Yards in Maryland on another sweltering summer night. It's game 2 of this 3-game series between the Chicago Cubs and the Baltimore Orioles. Good evening, everybody. Along with former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer, it's Pat Hughes reporting. Cubs clobbered the Orioles last night by a score of 9-2 to get a very favorable beginning to this series and this road trip. And tonight, a special pitching matchup. A couple of all-stars are matched up against each other. Shota Imanaga going for the Cubs, and Corbin Burns, the former Brewer, is an all-star for Baltimore. Let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups for tonight's game. The lineups are sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Leading off for the Cubs tonight and playing second base, Nico Horner. Michael Busch at first base. Cody Bellinger in right field. The cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, Seiya Suzuki. Ian Happ in left. Christopher Morel bats sixth and plays third base. Dansby Swanson is the Cubs shortstop. The number 8 batter is the young center fielder Pete Crow Armstrong. And batting ninth and catching for the Cubs, Miguel Amaya. Those are the Cubs. Here are the Orioles. Gunnar Henderson leading off at shortstop. Adley Rutschman, the DH. Ryan Mountcastle batting third and playing first base. Anthony Santander in right. Santander is the cleanup hitter. Jordan Westberg will bat fifth and play third base. Austin Hayes, the left fielder. Jorge Mateo at second base. Mateo batting seventh. Colton Cowser in center, and batting ninth, the catcher, James McCann. The Orioles take the field. We are ready for baseball. It'll be the Cubs and the Orioles back to get it started right after this. You are listening to The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for Cubs baseball all season long. This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
If you're an adult with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, you have options with Entyvio. For maintenance therapy, you and your doctor can choose between intravenous infusion or the Entyvio pen, a self-administered injection under the skin you can take at home or on the go. Discover your options at Entyvio.com. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Ask your healthcare provider about Entyvio.
It's one thing falling in love with a house, picturing yourself moving in and calling it home, and quite another navigating the world of price negotiating, mortgage lenders, and finding the budget that works best for you. An agent who's a Realtor can make understanding that world easier. Realtors have the expertise, access to proprietary data, and tools to help you get from imagining living somewhere to actually doing it. That's the kind of help we can provide. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Cubs leadoff man is Nico Horner. Leadoff man is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Nico gets a base hit, Benny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. We are ready for baseball. Corbin Burns to Nico Horner. First pitch is in for a strike, and away we go. Interesting matchup, Ron. Anytime you've got all-stars on both sides, it should be a compelling battle.
Going to be a good ball game. Good game to watch two guys pitch.
Bouncer to third, backhanded by Westberg. Nice diving stop on the backhand. Throws to first in time. He took a double away from Nico. Pretty nice play.
Yeah, this ball's hit down the line, and it's definitely going to be two bases if it gets past them. A little breaking ball, so you get the high fastball and then a curveball. And, Brandon Hyde in the pregame show talked with Bruce Levine about their defense, and it shows dividends and pays dividends right away here early in the game.
Michael Busch takes a slow curveball down low. Michael had a big night last night, to say the least. 4 for 6, including a home run. He got the Cubs rolling with a first-inning homer last night, and he'll take a breaking ball, dropping in there for a strike. Ron, what would be your approach against a guy like the 4-time All-Star Corbin Burns?
Well, you're going to have – the hitters are going to be pitched differently whether you're a lefty or a righty.
Fastball strike.
The right-handed hitters, Burns really likes to angle and kind of cut that fastball away from the right-hander. He loves to pitch away and down and away to that location. To me, if you're going to go into facing Burns between the cutter fastball, same pitch, and the breaking ball going away, if you try to pull him, you're going to be in trouble unless he makes a mistake. I would really, as a right-hander, dial in to that right center. And for the left-handers, eventually you're going to see some pitches in unless he has great command of his fastball away.
2-2 to Busch. Check swing. Bouncer toward third. That's going to be a tough play. Burns throws to first and gets him. What a play. I didn't think Burns had a chance. A check swing, bouncer toward the third base line. Burns, very athletic for a big man, ran over, slid feet first, grabbed the ball barehanded, and made the off-balance throw. What a play by Burns.
I want to see the center field shot of how he hit the ball. This pitch is down. That's what I was going to say. It bounced. That's a Yogi Berra swing. It's the old Cubs trick, just didn't quite work. But the pitch bounced, and he hit it, and it hit the bat. What a play by Burns to get the out. You don't, we always say, you never know what you're going to see in a big league game. You don't see that one every day.
Cody Bellinger steps in. He hits a bouncer toward the middle, headed up the middle, base hit to center. Bellinger has a 2-out single. So each of the first two Cubs flirted with base hits. Horner was robbed on a good play by Westberg, and Corbin Burns took a base hit away from Michael Busch. This one found the opening up the middle. Bellinger is on, and here's Seiya Suzuki.
Well, now this will be the key to see if Seiya, I would assume Burns will throw him a fastball or two per bat way inside hard and then really try to get him out with pitches away. We'll see how Burns attacks Seiya.
The big right-hander is set, and the pitch to Suzuki, a strike. And we're not kidding when we say big. This guy is 6'3", 245. Born in Bakersfield, California, makes his home in Scottsdale, Arizona. This will be his fourth consecutive All-Star selection in the last 4 years. So he is really one of the very best in the game. Suzuki 2 for 5 with a couple of RBIs last night in the opener. And the pitch on the way. Suzuki fouls it away right side. 89 scorching degrees, and it's always humid, almost oppressively humid on this eastern seaboard. Baltimore right on the water. Game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. Your trusted local experts. Four Seasons. Now the pitch, low and outside. Bellinger runs on the wild pitch. The ball bounced away from the catcher, McCann. Cody wasn't going to run until he saw the ball hit the shin guards, I believe, of the catcher and roll up the third baseline. That'll be a wild pitch.
Breaking ball, second breaking ball that Burns has thrown that bounced in front of home plate. Goes off of his gear. It does McCann, the catcher, bounces quite a bit out in front of the plate and down the line.
Let's see if Suzuki can drive in the first run of the game. The pitch to Seiya. It's low. Sharp breaking ball again in the dirt.
And we always talk about when you got a really good pitcher on the mound, when do you have to get him early in the ball game? Because as he gets a feel for all of his pitches, you can be in trouble. So if he gives you a good pitch to hit here, you got to do some damage.
Here's the 2-2. A little bouncer back to the mound. Easy play. Bobbled. And then a throw to first in time. Burns ranging over toward the first base line. Bobbled that ball. But then didn't panic. Picked it up barehanded. Shoveled it underhanded to Mountcastle. And the play goes 1-3, and the Cubs do not score in the top of the first. They leave one after a half 0-0 game. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
If you're an adult with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, you have options with Entyvio. For maintenance therapy, you and your doctor can choose between intravenous infusion or the Entyvio pen, a self-administered injection under the skin you can take at home or on the go. Discover your options at Entyvio.com. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Ask your healthcare provider about Entyvio.
See Broadway's spellbinding spectacular in Chicago. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Join the next adventure as Harry and his son set off on a mind-blowing race through time. Brought to life before your eyes and beyond your imagination. It's time to believe in magic at Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. September 10th through February 1st at the James M. Niederlander Theater. Get tickets at BroadwayInChicago.com.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Bottom of the first, no score. Gunnar Henderson, left-handed batter, pulls a bouncing ball to second base. Scooped up by Horner, short throw to first. That's the way you like to work as a pitcher. One pitch, one ground ball, and out number one, and the batter is Adley Rutschman.
I will see how this scouting report for Baltimore goes against Shota. As we've seen over the last few starts, teams trying to swing early in the count and put the ball in play early, as opposed to getting deep in the count where they end up, in a bad hitter's count, and you end up getting to that split finger.
Rutschman, the catcher last night, DHing tonight, takes a strike. I think there are certain cities run with this oppressive heat and humidity. Managers really have to be careful about not letting a guy, for example, catch too many days in a row.
Yeah.
And you got to watch your pitchers perhaps when it's a heat index of about probably 100, somewhere around there.
Well, all day since we've landed into town, it's been this way. Very hot, very humid.
Rutschman 2 for 4 last night, takes down low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike.
And I think for the players, you really have to pay attention to that for yourself and make sure you don't get, somewhat dehydrated. It definitely affects your performance, that's for sure.
And the pitch on the way. That's going to be low and inside for a ball. Last night we told you that Baltimore had the best record in the American League. After their loss to the Cubs, that's no longer true. Would it surprise you that the team with the best record in the American League is the Cleveland Guardians?
How about that?
The 3-1 pulled on the ground foul toward third. Cleveland 57-33, 1 half game better than Baltimore.
Now, we were in spring training, and, obviously Cleveland has spring in Arizona, and talking to those guys, they thought they were a pretty good team, but, we're going to be fighting in that division.
3-2 to Rutschman, fouled away, Ron.
I don't think we realized that fighting in that Central Division in the American League would mean you had 3 teams that are playing great baseball. And, them, the Twins, and Kansas City all playing really good baseball.
Kansas City beat the Cardinals earlier today in game 1 of their doubleheader. Zach will have details as we move along. Shota Imanaga working on Adley Rutschman. First time Shota has ever faced these Orioles. As you think about him facing this power-laden lineup, and they lead the big leagues in home runs. And get some of your thoughts here, Ron, after this 3-2 pitch to Rutschman. And here it is, just inside ball 4. What are his keys tonight?
Well, I think fastball command is vital, because if he has good fastball command, he's going to be pitching ahead in the count all night. If he does that, then the split finger really comes into play, and he's going to get some easy, quick, soft contact outs, routine fly balls. If he's pitching behind in the count against this lineup in a hot day where the ball's going to fly, that could be an issue.
Ryan Mountcastle, right-handed hitter, will take a strike. So you think a key is getting that first or possibly the second pitch over for a strike?
Absolutely. Making a good quality pitch in the zone, a quality strike early in the count. And if he can double up on him, better yet.
Mountcastle waiting, swings and misses, chased a pitch down in the dust.
Very nice split. Maybe the best split he's thrown so far, 84 miles an hour with that split finger. Speed Gun, powered by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once.
And now the 0-2 from Imanaga to Mountcastle. Line to left down the line, curling and going foul. Off speed pitch, he was out in front of it. Beautiful Oriole Park at Camden Yards. 410 to dead center. Right center, 373. Left center, there are actually two figures. There's 376. And when they moved the walls back a few years ago, the deep left center is 398. And then 333 down the line and left. And the pitch on the way. Drill to right. In the corner, slicing foul and going out of play. And we are blocked out of the footage sign run down the right field line. It seems to me it's around 320 to 325.
I think 320 is what it is.
Zach Zaidman has all of these things memorized for the entire league.
318.
See what I mean? Didn't even let me finish the sentence. That's impressive, Zach. And the next pitch. Line to left. It's going to fall in front of Happ for a base hit. That was a splitter. It looked like, Ron, it just hung a little bit. Mountcastle went down and got it and nailed a base hit to left.
Now, this split finger, you're right. It stays up just enough, but it gets a lot of the plate. Might even have been a little low, but when it starts out, it's up in the zone, and he was on the speed, and that's the important part for the hitter, being on the speed. So that's where, to me, that fastball is going to come into play even that much more to make sure that they are aware of his fastball so they're not on that split finger speed.
Anthony Santander, the batter, takes a changeup high for ball one. Now, Imanaga facing his second powerhouse offense in as many starts. He faced the Phillies his last time out on July 3rd at Wrigley. Didn't pitch badly, worked 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, had no decision. Changeup swung on and fouled back. And the count 1-1. It's his first time facing these Baltimore Orioles. And this can be a very tough place to pitch considering how good the Orioles are and the conditions, Ron. When it's this warm, the ball really carries.
Yeah, this is a very, even with the left field getting pushed back 30 feet, it's a very good hitter's park.
The 1-1, he zipped a fastball just inside. You could tell he may have had Santander fooled, but the pitch just was not in the exact right location. 2-1. Runners at first and second, 1 away, no score, bottom of the first. Santander, a switch hitter, batting right-handed against Shota Imanaga. The pitch, fastball high. As good as Baltimore is, and we mentioned they have a tremendous record, 23 games above 500, 57-34. They are just an average team, Ron, against National League competition, just 12-12 in the interleague package. The 3-1, fastball strike. I'm surprised that Santander was looking at that one. How about you?
He took a fastball on 3-1 on the inside corner.
Oof. Thank you. Let's watch the runners now.
I'd stay right there again. I'd double up on that heater inside.
Rutschman at second, Mountcastle at first. They are not running, and the pitch fouled away.
Shota got away with one there. He wanted that same pitch. They were set up inside. They wanted back-to-back fastballs in, and that one was right down the middle, and I mean, couldn't split the plate anymore about bell time.
Imanaga ready again. The 3-2 pitch, high, pop fly, foul, third base side, over near the third base dugout, and back out of play. About an average amount of foul territory space here in Baltimore. It gradually decreases as you get down toward the corners. The field is always in immaculate condition. You just don't see bad hops here. You played many games right out at that third base spot here, didn't you?
Yeah, I've always liked playing here, liked the infield. It was very quick. The infield grass was always a fast surface, but a true surface.
Santander awaits for Imanaga. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Santander is out on strikes. And that's out number 2. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. That is something that makes us all happy. Sponsored by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. I'm happy about that,
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah, absolutely.
2 outs, 2 on. The right-handed batting Jordan Westberg homered last night, takes high for a ball. We're coming to you live from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Tomorrow's innovation awaits with Invesco QQQ. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated. Runners take their leads, first and second, 2 down, and the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Get some good off-speed pitch working here in this first inning.
Showed a split. He's thrown a couple that have had good action going down, but he's thrown a lot more that ended up being more like change-ups than they are split fingers in the speed. That last one was more like a change. Didn't really go down, but it had good off-speed change to it.
The next pitch fouled away. Do any pitchers have both a splitter and a change?
They do. And not very often, but they do. But Shota, I wonder if the, sweating so much and the moisture and all of that will play a factor in him throwing his split finger today, whether it be good or bad.
The 1-2, low and away. Didn't miss by much. 27 pitches in the first inning for Shota Imanaga, and it's not over yet. So that's a few more than he would like to have tossed. Westberg has 15 home runs, the 2-2. Off speed, down low. 3-2.
That was a good take. That's one of his better splits. He's thrown a couple really good ones. That was a really good one. That's right where he wanted it. And Westberg did a good job laying off him.
Traveling time for the runners. They've got their leads. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. High fastball got him. He climbed the ladder, and Westberg chased it, and down he goes. Orioles threaten, do not score after 1-0 game. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer are Chicago's Sound of Summer on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Aloha, everyone. John Heilman here, and on my new podcast, In Politics with John Heilman, we roam the corridors of power and influence in America, talking with the people who shape our culture in politics, entertainment, tech, sports, media, and beyond, along with the journalists and authors who chronicle their exploits. The folks who shift and sway our culture are a rare breed indeed, and even rarer are the conversations on In Politics with John Heilman. So follow and listen to In Politics with John Heilman, an Odyssey podcast in partnership with Puck, available now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the holidays spectacular with Moulin Rouge the Musical. Winner of 10 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The New York Times calls it glittering, gasp-inspiring. In Moulin Rouge, life is beautiful. Give the gift of Broadway's most spectacular night out. Book now at MoulinRougeMusical.com.
Get back on your weight loss journey with Optavia. Our holistic approach focuses on the whole person, so you can commit to transforming your weight loss journey. Say bye-bye before and hello after the after. Learn more at Optavia.com/results.
Top 2 Cubs scoreless in Baltimore. The second inning is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Remember, on Southwest, 2 bags fly free. Pat?
Very good, Zach. Ian Happ sent one soaring over the right field wall last night with a couple of men on. There was not a bigger hit in the entire game than that one. It gave the Cubs a little cushion, and they cruised on to a relatively easy 9-2 win. Here's the drive to center. It's going to be caught by Cowser. Cowser makes the catch, one away. Scoreless game, second inning. Here's Christopher Morrell. Cubs count on Granger's help to keep beautiful Wrigley Field running. To get the products you need, call clickgranger.com or stop by. Granger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. Christopher Morel checks in, hitting 199. Swings and misses, 0-1. Morel 1 for 4 in the series opener, wearing bright red batting gloves on either hand. The 0-1 from Corbin Burns, hit in the air to center. Well hit, back goes Cowser to the wall. That ball is gone. Home run, Christopher Morel. Just to the right of dead center. We talked about the ball carrying, Ron. I'd say there's a prime example.
Yeah, this is just a line drive bullet to straightaway center. And Christopher hits this ball well. I just wasn't quite sure if it was elevated enough, but it just kept going, and Christopher puts the Cubs on the scoreboard with a line drive home run to center. And I love after the first swing, he wasn't trying to pull the ball, just stay to the middle of the diamond, and good things happen for Morel. Cubs up 1-0.
It's another hefty home run, sponsored by Hefty, the official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty strong all day long. Number 16 for Morel, the team leader in that category. 47 runs batted in. Second to Ian Happ's total of 55 in the RBI leadership. Here's a guy the Cubs need to get going. Dansby Swanson. His average sagging down to 201. And he was nothing for 5 last night. I look for him to get hot. I really do.
I do too.
His shortstop play has still been superb. And the pitch to Dansby, a breaking ball swung on and missed. 1-2.
RBIs by the Cubs batters today are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. See if Dansby gets a pitch he can shoot the other way here.
And the delivery, a little liner, left field, a base hit. He got jammed, able to muscle it over the head of Henderson, the shortstop. Before we continue, 10 for ID right here. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Your headquarters for Cubs Talk, it's the Mullen Haw Show, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
It's time for the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Pete Crow Armstrong stepping in, facing Corbin Burns, takes a slow curve for a strike. I remember the game at Wrigley against Zach Wheeler, another hard-throwing right-hander. Mm-hmm. And in that game, Pete had one of the best games of his young career with a pair of doubles. Here comes the 0-1. A liner to left. There's a base hit. Over to pick it up is Hayes. Stopping at second is Swanson. I know you're smiling, Ron.
I love it. I think, it's starting to come to Pete Crow Armstrong about using the other side of the field. In that game that you were referencing with Wheeler, if you remember his second double of the game, a line drive in the left center gap. And now this time, Pete gets that backdoor cutter and just shoots it the other way. And that is a great sign for that young guy, to where he is starting to get control of his barrel and understanding what he's doing with that bat. That's a good sign for the Cubs.
We're going to make our guesses in the Benny's attendance game. I'll start us off. 29-6-92. Miguel Amaya, the batter. A run in the bank, 2 men on, 1 away. Second inning, Cubs lead 1-0. Fastball strike. Amaya did not play in the series opener. Swanson away from second. Pete Crow Armstrong at first. 2 good, smart base runners. And the 0-1. Amaya will take a strike. 0-2.
I am going to say 30,200.
Last night's figure, 30,373. And now the 0-2. On the way to Amaya, instead a bluff move by Burns to second.
I'll go 30,500.
Okay, we're locked in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. We'll see how we did later on. Now the 0-2. Low for a ball, blocked by the catcher, McCann. Cubs wearing their traveling grays. They are seated over in the third base dugout tonight. Gray shirts and trousers, red numerals on their backs. Dark blue hats and helmets. Sleeves and socks are also dark blue. A variety of shoe colors. Orioles in their home whites with orange and black. Fastball low and away. He's making him work. It's 2-2. Orioles have the orange numbers on their backs. 3 different colors on their hat. The cap is black in the back. I'm a poet and don't even know it. It is white in the forehead area and then orange bills. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball in the dust. Amaya is out number 2. Still a good scoring chance, though, with Nico Horner coming up with 2 men on.
Pretty good breaking ball. This one bounces probably right on home plate. But that just goes to show you how good a breaking ball that Burns has, as he's thrown a couple good ones to Cubs hitters so far in the early going.
Nico robbed on a good play by the third baseman Westberg his first time. That's when he wishes he would have swung out a fastball right down the middle. Burns a hard thrower. He made a postseason appearance last year. His manager was Craig Counsell when both of them were in Milwaukee. There's a liner into right, a base hit. Rounding third, heading home, Dansby Swanson. The throw by Sun Tandar, not in time. Opposite field, run scoring single, Nico Horner. Cubs lead 2-0.
Boy, and I'm really surprised. First of all, great swing by Nico. And this is exactly what we talked about. Taking that fastball that rides away from you as a right-hander and shooting it the other way. Excellent at-bat and swing by Nico. I'm really surprised Mountcastle cuts this ball. This is a throw. Dansby does not get a good turn around third. I don't know if he was slipping coming around third or not, but he kind of slowed down a little bit going around third, then he had to pick up speed. But Mountcastle cuts this throw. I thought it was going to be close at the plate. It gets cut, and the Cubs score their second run.
A homer by Morrell. We always talk about home runs sometimes having the effect of loosening up everybody.
Yeah.
And, Ron, you made a point against Burns. There's no guarantee you're going to get any runs against him.
Right.
So once you get that first one, it's a little bit of a relief, I think, up and down the lineup.
I couldn't agree more. I think when, you get a couple guys with some hits, now all of a sudden he doesn't look so invincible. Like, hey, we're all right. We're going to hit this guy. That's a 4th hit of the inning for the Cubs. So they have done a pretty good job. Dansby kind of inside fastball, a little jam shot over short. The home run by Morrell. Pete Armstrong with a line drive and Nico with a line drive. So Cubs offense doing a good job again tonight. Early in the game, especially against Burns, and just like they did last night, scoring runs and getting off to a good lead.
And here is Cody Bellinger. Or actually, this is Michael Busch. Bellinger on deck. And the pitch on the way to Michael is taken down low. For Horner, his 26th run batted in. Good hustle by Crow Armstrong. He motored all the way to third. Cubs leading 2-0. Let's see if Busch can keep it going. Had a big night last night. Pitch on the way to Michael. Taken high. He's had over 250 at-bats, Ron, so it's not that early in the season.
Right.
And he lifted his batting average 9 points in one game.
Yeah. You look up that scoreboard and you see a 272. That doesn't bother you at all for the rookie. That's pretty good.
Burns has made 31 pitches already. Not only is the total pitch count a key in these conditions, but the number you throw in every single inning, I think, takes on greater importance.
If you have a big pitch total inning, in this heat, it's tough.
Swing and a miss, sharp breaking ball. And the count now 2-1.
And now at the run the Cubs scored this inning, safe at the plate, sponsored by Granger. Think safety, think Granger.
The umpires, Mark Carlson, Joliet native, the crew chief, calling balls and strikes. John Bacon working at first. Dan Merzel, the second base umpire, and Stu Shorewater working at third. The announcement of the umpires. That is always sponsored by Suits 2020 and Niles, the largest selection of wedding outfits for grooms and groomsmen. And the pitch running at first is Horner. The pitch bounced to second, fielded by Mateo. He'll run over and make the play unassisted. The first baseman, Mountcastle, tried to make a lunging backhand stop, missed it. But Mateo, the second baseman, charging in, grabbed it, and this just ran over, and 4 unassisted retired the batter Bush at first base. But a good inning for the Cubs. They score twice, 4 hits. They leave a pair, middle of inning number 2. Cubs 2, Baltimore nothing. This is the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Craig Counsell here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Get back on your weight loss journey with Optavia. Our holistic approach focuses on the whole person, so you can commit to transforming your weight loss journey. Say bye-bye before and hello after the after. Learn more at Optavia.com/results.
When you buy a new house, you might say,
Shut the front door.
winning,
No, seriously. Shut the front door. We own this house now.
but you actually need to say,
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
that's right. The local State Farm agent is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
Welcome to my crib. No one says that anymore, but I don't care.
So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Get back on your weight loss journey with Optavia. Our holistic approach focuses on the whole person, so you can commit to transforming your weight loss journey. Say bye-bye before and hello after the after. Learn more at Optavia.com/results.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Tour players don't put a product into competition unless they believe in it. Go to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and see the dozens of tour players that believe in the quality of Shade & Precision eyewear. Better vision means better golf at SeeBetterPlayBetter.com.
First pitch fouled off from Hayes. And on Friday, July 19th, Cubs take on the Diamondbacks, 120, up to the first 5,500 fans in the Budweiser bleachers. 21 and older will receive a Cubs Chicago mesh tape presented by Budweiser. Now, you have one of those, don't you? No, Zach does. The
Zach?
mesh tank top?
You must be talking about Zach.
Okay.
Do you own any yourself? That would be my
I do
question.
not, no. And if you would like one of those on July 19th, go to purchase tickets at Cubs.com/tickets.
Well, thank you. Here's a pitch fouled back.
Well, you are a poet today, aren't you? We could use tank tops today. It is steamy here in Baltimore. It has been 90-plus degrees since we've landed here in Baltimore and very humid.
Austin Hayes hitting .267. Right-handed batter has a count of 1-2. Showtime would love to put a 0 on the board in this inning. Here's a fly ball to left, down the line, curling foul, and back out of play. Of course, every pitcher would like to put a 0 on the board in every inning, but in terms of game momentum, and that's what I'm alluding to,
Yeah.
Cubs grabbed a little of that precious commodity of momentum in the top of the inning, getting 2 against Burns, and they'd like to hold on to it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Now the 1-2 to Hayes. Ripped on the ground. That's fair. Inside third. Bouncing off the sidewall. Chasing it down is Happ. Hayes going for 2. There's going to be a play. The throw to second base. The tag not in time. Happ made a good throw. Hayes hustling with a 2-bagger. And the Orioles immediately have a man in scoring position here in the bottom of inning number 2.
Now this ball hit, it's a bullet. It's up in the zone. And Hayes hooks this ball just inside the line and down in the corner. Ian gets over there in really good shape and at least makes a play of this at second. But Hayes with a leadoff double.
Jorge Mateo, the batter. Mateo hits the ground ball to third, sharply gloved cleanly by Morel. Holds the runner at second and guns to first in time. You must be alert to be a good third baseman.
When you're going to play that close, you're in even with the bag at third. Ball gets on you in a hurry, and you got to like the play there of Morel, making that play look easy.
Uniform descriptions, we gave those to you, sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Transform your clubhouse into a Cubs house with Cubbies blue, Wrigley Field green, or marquee red. As Colton Cowser steps in and takes outside for a ball. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Some of the Baltimore media telling me that you're going to hear what sounds like booing for Cowser, but the fans are actually mooing because of the name, Cow, and mooing. It took me a while for it to sink in. Here's a pitch outside the count, 2-0.
A pretty good deduction, though.
They call him, Ron, the milkman.
Oh, my.
So they've taken it to a new level. Whether that's up or down, I'm not sure. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. High pop fly. Shallow right center is Horner, backpedaling, calling, and squeezing. And that's out number 2. Cowser is gone. So now that the milkman is done with his shift, it'll be James McCann stepping in.
Now, growing up, did you ever have a milkman come to the house when you were a kid?
Oh,
yeah?
sure, yeah. That does not happen anymore. I'm not sure why that has been discontinued.
Yeah, I don't know. I know my dad and my uncle were both milkmen in Chicago when I was a very little kid. I hardly remember it, but I know they were.
James McCann takes high for a ball. McCann did not play last night. Right-handed batting catcher, hitting .211. Shota Imanaga, 5'9" former Japanese star. The pitch. High pop fly, playable. Third base side for Morel. Right near the bag, foul territory now. Slaps the leather on it to end the inning. Nice job by Imanaga. The Orioles squander a leadoff double. We go to the third. Cubs 2, Baltimore nothing. This is the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hall of Famer Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer bring you all the action on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I've finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Aloha, everyone. John Heilman here, and on my new podcast, In Politics with John Heilman, we roam the corridors of power and influence in America, talking with the people who shape our culture in politics, entertainment, tech, sports, media, and beyond, along with the journalists and authors who chronicle their exploits. The folks who shift and sway our culture are a rare breed indeed, and even rarer are the conversations on In Politics with John Heilman. So follow and listen to In Politics with John Heilman, an Odyssey podcast in partnership with Puck, available now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When you compete at the highest level, quality makes a difference in every product you take to the course. Go to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com to learn why more touring golf professionals are putting Shaden Precision Eyewear into competition. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com.
Picture yourself in Indiana this summer, the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation. Paddle across picturesque lakes, hike through breathtaking views, and make a splash in our water parks. Discover the beauty of our beaches as you stroll along miles of sandy shoreline and enjoy live music, local flavors, and endless fun at our festivals. With countless outdoor activities, Indiana is the perfect summer destination. Start your planning at inindiana.com/summer.
Cody Bellinger is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on Deck is sponsored by On Deck. Need a small business loan fast? Apply today at ondeck.com. Pat?
Third inning brought to you by Grainger, official partner of the Cubs and Wrigley Field. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Cubs got 2 in the second against Corbin Burns. And here is Cody Bellinger leading off the third, taking outside. As good as Burns is, he actually has a losing record in his career against the Cubs. 2-4 lifetime. ERA is good. Little chopper to the left side of the mound, bobbled by Burns. That'll be an infield hit for Cody Bellinger. Slow chopper to the third base side of the mound. Burns ran over, tried to backhand the ball. When you're running down the hill of the mound, many times you stumble and it forces you to bobble a ball.
Well, not only did he run down the mound, Pat, but he throws the ball and he's falling off the mound on the first base side and then does a complete turnaround, losing track of where the ball is, and then goes and tries to catch it. Tough play, but it will be a base hit. Cubs are making Burns work on the mound here so far in the early going.
Seiya Suzuki, the batter, and he hits a check swing foul back out of play.
Designated hitters for the Cubs tonight. They're sponsored by BBQ Authority. Visit BBQ Authority in Lisle.
Good size gap in left center at the moment for Seiya. Burns, the big, strong right-hander, ready. And a breaking ball down in the dust, blocked by McCann. We'd like to extend birthday greetings to a great Cubs Hall of Famer, Andre Dawson, 70 years old today.
Oh, wow. The Hawk.
One of the greatest players when he was with the Cubs that has ever played. 1987, what a year he had. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss. Not a great swing by Seiya. Kind of an afterthought. He chased that high outside pitch. But Andre has always been great to me.
Yeah, same.
Hope he has a great birthday and many, many more to follow. Now the 1-2 instead of toss to first.
God, I remember when the Cubs signed Hawk to a contract and the big news of it being a blank contract. But I think all of us that were Cub fans in the city were just extremely excited that he was just going to come play for the Cubs.
Swinging a pop fly shallow right, playable. The first baseman, Mountcastle, is there. So is Mateo. Mountcastle, the first baseman, makes the catch. Fair territory. And that's out number 2. Check if that's out number 1, Rod. Hap, the batter.
Double plays turned by the Cubs today. They're sponsored by Nissan. They make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today with Nissan.
Not much wind in the ballpark tonight. Flags just kind of hanging out in left center. In some ways, a very typical summer night here on the eastern seaboard. You get this in Philadelphia, the New York area. Boston has their share of days like this. Pitch to Hap is low and inside for a ball.
This is one of those ballparks I always felt like you're not in a bowl, but you're in a bowl, right? Because of the warehouse and right that goes all the way down in the center field. The stadium goes all the way around from far left center all the way around to the right field corner where that warehouse is. So you don't feel the effects of the wind all that much on the field as Happer fouls that one off straight back. But the wind, it may affect the ball when it's hit up high, but you really don't feel it on the field.
Ian Happ fly to center his first time, choking up ever so slightly. Toss to first, jumping back to the bag, Bellinger. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Cubs leading 2-0, out hitting Baltimore 6-2 so far. Happ will take a changeup away. Is he throwing as many fastballs as we have seen him in games against the Cubs in the past?
No, I would say no. I would think he's pitching a little more around the edges of the zone with some more off-speed stuff.
The big right-hander Burns preparing for the 2-1. Running is Bellinger. The pitch outside. Throw to second base. The ball bounces away. It's a stolen base for Cody Bellinger. It was a decent throw by McCann. I would say Bellinger stole it much more on Burns than he did on the throw.
Yeah, Burns definitely not fast to home plate. And Belly got a good jump. This is a pretty good throw. But Belly and the baseball get to second base at the same time. And Belly kind of hits the arm of Henderson and jars the ball. So Belly with another stolen base.
Third inning is sponsored by... I thought I read this one before. Here's a pitch to Ian Happ. It's going to be strike 2. Zach says, let her rip, Captain. The third inning is sponsored by Granger. And the 3-2 pitch. And Happ takes strike 3 call. He knew it. But I'm looking for something else. Captain will keep on ripping here. Official partner of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. Call clickgranger.com or just stop by. There's a Cub fan here. He passed along a note, wanted us to remember him back home. I might need some help with the last name. And the pitch on the way to Morel, a breaking ball strike. First name Mitchell. Last name Lieberace. Liberace?
Huh. Liberace. I've not heard that name before.
Here comes the 0-1. Fastball is down low. Almost looks like Liberace.
Oh, yeah.
It could be.
But that's just Liberace. It's not. Mitch, is that what the first name was?
I don't know what Liberace's first name really was.
No, the guy that's the Cub fan.
I forgot his name, too.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Here comes the 1. Curveball is swung on and missed in the count 1-2. No, it's Mitchell Liberace. Or Liberace, maybe. Maybe just Mitchell L. Does that work? Now, Zach, always at the ready, has both a first and middle name for Liberace. Zach, I'll let you go ahead and take a tackle at that name. What do you got?
It's Liberace.
Is that like... Well, never mind. Yeah. I had a name. It would not have been appropriate. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. On the way to Morel. And a breaking ball just missed.
Little breaking ball just missed down.
The late, great Liberace did have a first and middle name. What were those names?
He did have a first and middle name. I can tell you the middle name, Valentino. I do not know how to pronounce the first name.
There's a swing and a high pop-up foul and back out of play. Spell it, Ron, and I'll take a tackle at it.
All right. Wladziu.
Wladzik.
W-L-A.
Old Wladzik.
Oh, no wonder he went by Liberace.
Now the 3-2 from Burns. Morel waits. Bellinger leads at second. And a bluff throw towards second. Burns laboring a little bit, Ron. 52 pitches, and we are still in inning number 3. That's more than he would prefer.
All stolen bases by the Cubs, sponsored by Turo Tire, keeping performance within reach. Learn more at Turo.com, and you're seeing it now. That's exactly what you're talking about. As Burns stepping off a couple times, just trying to regroup here a little bit.
Now the huge right-hander ready, and the 3-2. Morel takes strike 3 call. Christopher thought it might have been high. He gets rung up by home plate umpire Mark Carlson. It looked pretty good. Inning over. Cubs do not score. Leave 1 at the end of 2.5. Cubs 2, Baltimore nothing. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans. It's Pete Crow Armstrong. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price and participation may vary. For a limited time only.
Make the holidays spectacular with Moulin Rouge the Musical. Winner of 10 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The New York Times calls it glittering, gasp-inspiring. In Moulin Rouge, life is beautiful. Give the gift of Broadway's most spectacular night out. Book now at MoulinRougeMusical.com.
At Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, every journey is unique. From learning to walk again after a spinal cord injury, to learning to speak again after a stroke. But they all have the same destination: ability. Choose the #1 rehabilitation hospital, the one with the most advanced treatments, the brightest experts, and the most referrals for the toughest cases. Choose Shirley Ryan Ability Lab.
The out-of-town scoreboard is fueled by Citgo Dry Clean Gasoline. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. A couple of double headers around the majors today, Pat.
Cubs will have one of those on Saturday in St. Louis as Imanaga delivers a strike to Gunnar Henderson. What do you got, Zach?
In game one of a doubleheader in St. Louis, the Royals, a 6-4 winner over the Cardinals. Salvador Perez went deep. The second game is about to get started. Meantime, another doubleheader on the south side. White Sox win the opener 3-1 over the Twins. Game 2 is in progress. Bottom 9, Twins 3, White Sox 2.
Here comes the 1-1 from Shota. Good fastball. Nice location right down around the knees.
Bottom of the third inning in Detroit, Pat. The Tigers with a 4-2 lead over the Guardians. Colt Keith with an RBI triple for Detroit. The Mariners lead the Padres 1-0 after 3.
Cubs leading here 2-0. Fly ball left center, very playable for either Crow Armstrong or Happ as they converge. The young center fielder makes the catch right in front of Ian. That's out number 1.
Crow Armstrong, Ian's going to be like, okay, this is my turf. That's your turf over there.
Other action around the majors. The Yankees lead the Rays 1-0 in the top of the third. Trent Grisham with an RBI double. Kyle Schwarber goes deep. Phillies lead the Dodgers 1-0. Bottom of the second inning in Philadelphia. Top 2, Rockies and Reds are scoreless.
Adley Rutschman swings and misses. Zach, what else?
Brandon Nimmo has hit his 16th home run for New York. The Mets lead the Nationals 1-0 in the top of the second. Bottom 1, A's and Red Sox are scoreless at Fenway. Pat?
Very good. Thanks to Zach Zaidman for the updates. The 0-1 from Shota Imanaga inside to the right-handed batting Rutschman. Rutschman, a switch hitter, DH. Had a base on balls in the first. We gave our attendance picks. Several sections are empty. Here's a swing and a foul back. And if I say that with some surprise in my voice, I am a little surprised. This was a great baseball town. Anytime the Orioles were a contender and you got to this part of the season, mid-July, and they were in first, this place would have been filled.
Yeah, absolutely packed. The lower deck is not filled up, from the foul pole to foul pole, and the upper deck, 8 sections of the upper deck is in left field, does not have anybody in it. But it's a big ballpark, though, too. It was similar to this yesterday. Still 30,000 people here. So this ballpark does seat quite a few.
I think it's the upper 40s if it's filled, 47, 48, somewhere in there. Rutschman awaiting the 1-2 from Imanaga. Off-speed pitch down low, 2-2. We'll be right back out here again tomorrow night. Series finale. Final regular season meeting between these two teams. Justin Steele against Albert Suarez. Starts at 5:30 in the afternoon, Chicago time. 2-2 pitch, grounded to short. Good pitch by Imanaga. The ball is gloved by Swanson. A flip throw to first in time. And that's out number 2. That pitch kind of tied him up inside.
That's a good fastball. We were talking about if he has good command of the fastball, it's going to be great for him. And he has had good command of his fastball so far in today's game. That last one was outstanding in on the hand.
2 down, nobody on. Orioles with 2 hits so far against Shota. He showed the video. He was in the Cubs clubhouse the moment that he found out that he made the All-Star team. And his teammates, you can tell they really like him. He's a very likable guy. And they let out a big holler of triumph and joy and respect. And you could tell how pleased he was. It was very special.
Got a chance to congratulate him as we were waiting for our plane in the terminal before we took off to come here today, or come here this week. And very happy for him. He's going to have a great time representing the Cubs in the All-Star game and really representing Japan too, Pat.
Sure.
You know, I mean, he's
sure he is.
First year player in the United States, and you come over here and there's a lot of question marks of just how it's going to work and how do you play here and, the culture and all those things. And, you talk about a guy that's passed every test of flying colors.
Fastball strike, and he's settled in nicely in Chicago and at Wrigley Field.
Agree.
And I've been here a long time, Ron, 29 years. Chicago is not for everyone.
That's right.
But he has adapted quickly and smoothly and very successfully. Here comes the 2-2 now to Ryan Mountcastle. The stretch and the pitch on the way. A little looper, shallow right, long run. Bellinger near the line, cannot make the catch. It's an opposite field soft single for Ryan Mountcastle. Bellinger wanted to catch that ball just the way he was pursuing it, but there was no chance, and he had to play it on a bounce.
Yeah, Belly goes after this ball hard, and he's thinking about laying out for this ball. The issue with that down in this corner is if he lays out, he's got nobody to back him up. This ball's going to roll a long way into the corner. So Belly just about starts to dive and then pulls back, and it'll be a little bloop single for Mountcastle.
Anthony Santander, the batter, gets jammed, pops it up foul. Over near the first base dugout is Bush. Nice play by Michael. Reaching over the railing, making the catch. And that ends the inning. Very nice play by the rookie first baseman, Michael Bush. Baltimore does not score. It's on to inning number 4. Cubs 2, Orioles nothing. This is the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Every home run and double play is called by Pat and Ron on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
How many Rock and Roll Hall of Famers have been on the Talk is Jericho podcast with me, Chris Jericho? Well, let's see how many I can name off the top of my head. Metallica, Kiss, Slash, and Duff from Guns N' Roses, Angus Young, Brian Johnson from AC/DC, Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You want more? I got so many more, but I'm all out of time right now. So come rock with me, Chris Jericho, on Talk is Jericho. Listen to and follow now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Meet the brand new oven from Uni, the Coda 2 Max. This massive gas-powered pizza oven sports 2 independently controlled cooking zones and a Bluetooth-enabled digital temperature hub. Learn more at uni.com. That's OONI.com.
Picture yourself in Indiana this summer, the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation. With countless outdoor activities, Indiana is the perfect summer destination. Start your planning at inindiana.com/summer.
Cubs leading the Orioles 2-0 as we get set for the top half of the 4th inning here in Baltimore. The 4th inning is sponsored by Wintrust, the exclusive home of Cubs checking. Pat?
4th inning, Cubs got their runs in the 2nd, if you're just joining us. Dansby Swanson scored one of those runs after ripping a base hit to left. Christopher Morel homered, and Swanson singled. So did Crow Armstrong, and Nico Horner singled to drive in Morel, or rather to drive in Swanson. Fastball by Corbin Burns is down low. Now, Burns made a postseason appearance last year, and he lost to Arizona. That was the National League Wild Card Series. Arizona, a team of destiny, would go on to the World Series. Here's a bouncer to third. Loved by Westberg. Long throw to first in time. And Swanson is out number one. Cubs leading 2-0. But it was not an effective outing or a very long outing for Corbin Burns. Arizona jumped all over him, Ron. He worked, 4 innings. Arizona touched him for 3 home runs and 4 total runs. He walked 2 and did strike out 5, but that was a loss. Milwaukee would lose the next game, and they were done after winning the division title. Yeah. And that would be the last game that Burns ever pitched in a Brewer uniform.
Yeah.
Here comes the 0-1 on the way. Breaking ball strike. It was really peculiar, though, and it's very typical of baseball to have the 4 best teams bounced out of the playoffs early.
Yeah, right away.
Baltimore was one of them. Baltimore got knocked out by Texas. Milwaukee. Let's see, who else was there? Atlanta.
Right out.
They lost to the Phillies in the division series. And Tampa was a strong team, and they got knocked out early. None of the best 4 teams made it even to the league championship series in either league. Swinging a foul at the plate by Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, and you think about Arizona. The Cubs played Arizona in September, and you looked at Arizona and you're like, and Arizona just got hot at the right time, and actually Arizona propelled themselves to the playoffs, and the Cubs, because of those series, knocked themselves out of the playoff race.
Fly ball to left, long run, getting there, making the running catch is Hayes. Crow Armstrong is out number 2. Cubs leading 2-0 here in the 4th inning, and the batter is Miguel Amaya.
And then you think about, the amazing thing is thinking about Texas. They really played just not good baseball and lost right up until the final game, and they won the last game of the year to get in. And they had a lead. They were in first place with the week to go and lost the lead. And they end up winning the World Series. You just, to your point, try to figure baseball out.
No, you can't. And that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
It can be part of the agonizing aspect for those in the game professionally, I would think. Yeah. But it's for fans, it is part of the fun.
I was part of one of those teams. We were the best team in baseball in 2002 in New York with the Yankees. I mean, just dominant team. Great starting pitching, great offense.
1-1 pitch swung on and missed.
And we got beat by Anaheim in the first round of the playoffs with an average starting rotation, but a great bullpen. Francisco Rodriguez, and then their closer, Troy Percival.
Oh, yeah.
And, boy, we couldn't get to their starters in the first 5 innings to really do any damage, and their bullpen just came in and slammed the door.
Here comes the 1-2 now to Miguel Amaya down low. And Run, having been through several postseason series, it happens very quickly.
Yeah.
You think, what happened? We had a great regular season, and all of a sudden it's over. You blink.
Yeah. I remember standing in the dugout in Anaheim back then, and we're in the 7th inning, and we're getting blown out in the final game of that. We're going to lose the playoffs. I'll never forget the throwing them dang rally monkeys at us in the dugout. It's bad.
Swing and a miss. Did you get nailed by one?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't happy about it either.
No, I'm sure you weren't. 3 up, 3 down. Cubs do nothing in the 4th. We go to the bottom half. Cubs 2, Baltimore nothing. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Ian Happ here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
This is where legends are made. Bally's Chicago Casino. where the action is unstoppable and the possibilities are unlimited. It's the $250,000 sizzling summer sweepstakes. July 27th, win a pair of jet skis and a trip to Bally's Atlantic City or 40 grand cash. Open 24 hours, 7 days a week at the historic Madonna Temple. Bally's Chicago Casino. Bet on Bally's. See promotions for details. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, every journey is unique. From learning to walk again after a spinal cord injury to learning to speak again after a stroke. But they all have the same destination: ability. Choose the #1 rehabilitation hospital, the one with the most advanced treatments, the brightest experts, and the most referrals for the toughest cases. Choose Shirley Ryan Ability Lab.
When you buy a new house, you might say,
"Shut the front door."
"Winning."
No, seriously, shut the front door. We own this house now.
But you actually need to say,
"Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there."
that's right. The local State Farm agent is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
Welcome to my crib. No one says that anymore, but I don't care.
So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
League Leaders are sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. The Guardians' Stephen Kwan leads the majors in batting average, .364.
Shota Imanaga delivers. The ball popped up, playable, right side. Down the line, angling over Horner behind Bush. Makes the nice call and the catch. One pitch, one away. Zach, what else you got?
You've heard this before, Pat. Aaron Judge, the power leader, 32 home runs, 83 RBIs, both leading the big leagues. And Ellie De La Cruz of the Cincinnati Reds is the stolen base leader with 45.
Who is second in stolen bases? Any idea? It's a rather sizable lead for Ellie. As Austin Hayes steps in.
Bryce Terang of the Brewers with 29.
I didn't realize he had that many. Thanks, Zach. Shota Imanaga fires a fastball low.
And a pitch clock reminder. Pitch clock is powered by Work Zone Safety. Make sure you follow Work Zone signs. It's not a game.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Shota Imanaga. A swing and a high fly ball to left. Pretty well hit. Back goes Happ. Near the wall with room. Makes the catch. Right in front of the wall. You always have to wait here. Run the ball carries very well to left. And a little breeze is blowing in that direction too.
Yeah, it's, the ball's carrying for sure, but that wall is a long way. You're probably talking about 390 to 395 feet to straight left. And Happer goes back, gets to the track, and just pulls this ball in. Now, the old dimensions, that ball would have been 10 rows back here in Camden Yards.
Jorge Mateo takes a strike. Cubs got their runs in the second inning. A Christopher Morel home run to dead center. And a 2-out RBI opposite field single for Nico Horner. Ground ball wide at third. Glove by Morel. Moving to his left. Running through to first to get him. Good 1-2-3 inning for Shota Imanaga. We go to the fifth inning. Zach will join Ron in a moment. After 4, Cubs 2, Orioles nothing. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer are Chicago's Sound of Summer on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
An historic Bears training camp is almost here.
It's a new era for Bears football.
With rookies Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze,
plus more additions on offense and defense, the Bears hype has never been higher. And in a big change of heart, they're even letting in HBO to film Hard Knocks.
There's going to be so much to talk about.
Keep it on The Score as we bring you live coverage of Bears training camp every day as the team gets ready for Game 1. We are Chicago Sports Radio, 670 The Score. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Every weight loss journey has a before and an after, but all too often, your after is short-lived, and you find yourself right back where you started. Back to before. Break this cycle with help from Optavia. Our holistic approach includes nutrition, personal coaching, even GLP-1 options if appropriate, through our collaboration with LifeMD, so you can crush your goals and commit to transforming your weight loss journey. Say bye-bye before and hello after the after with Optavia. Learn more at optavia.com/results.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price and participation may vary. For a limited time only.
It's been a 3-year wait, but the Olympics are back, and the CBS Sports Podcast Network has you covered with everything happening in Paris. It's a new era for the U.S. women's national team, and Attacking Third will tackle all the women's soccer action. First Cut will keep close tabs on golf, while Beyond the Arc will follow the U.S. men's basketball team on a quest for another gold. And We Need to Talk Now will provide comprehensive coverage of women's athletes at the Olympic Games. Follow and listen to all CBS Sports podcasts for free on the Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Nico Horner at the plate to lead off the top half of the fifth inning for the Cubs. Corbin Burns on the mound, works on the extreme first base side of the rubber. The right-hander deals, and Nico looks at a strike on the inner half. A slider that spins into the zone, 0-1 the count. Nico helping the Cubs build a 2-0 lead over the Orioles here in the fifth. The pitch is low for a ball, 1-1 the count. Nico had an RBI single and a 2-run second inning for the Cubs. Christopher Morel, a 412-foot drive over the center field wall. And that's where we stand. Here's the pitch. Horner swings, pops it up, left side of the infield. In foul territory, it's the catcher, McCann, who makes the catch in front of the Cubs dugout along the third base line, 1 away.
Little high breaking ball from Burns, and it's a little too high as Nico went after it, but just popped it straight up.
So 1 down, Cubs up 2-0 over the Orioles here in game 2 of their 3-game set. We're in the top half of the fifth inning. The Potawatomi Casino Hotel fifth inning. Light up your senses. The batter, Michael Busch. Burns deals, Busch swings and fouls it out of play. Into the upper deck, off to the left.
And Mully and Haw talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday morning from 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score in the Odyssey app.
They had an interesting Cubs-related topic today. Here's the pitch to Busch, and that is outside for a ball, 1-1. They kind of piggybacked on what you and Pat talked about during last night's ball game and what we brought up in the pregame show, that last night, probably the best all-around game the Cubs have played this season. Pitch, Busch swings and misses at a curveball, 1-2.
Yeah, when you take into account who the Cubs played, the guys on the mound, and the way the team's pitched, and then the offensive, where the offense worked for the Cubs and scoring early and the way they scored, a little bit of everything.
Busch swings, ground ball up the middle. Oh, it hits the second base bag and ricochets in the shallow left. Busch on his way to second and slides in safely. A double for Michael Busch. All the luck going his way in this series.
Now that's called clean living, boy. When you hit a ball like that, it hits the bag. It goes into left center field. Great job by Michael hustling, going down to first base. And then the ball hits the bag, and now he's prepared to be able to take second base. And this is just one of those rare plays that you see, but Cubs will take it, and so will Michael Busch with a 1-out double.
So Busch at second base, and the batter is Cody Bellinger's 2 for 2 today. Left-handed batter, upright stance, very little bend at the knees. Burns steals the pitch, low and inside for a ball, 1-0.
And doubles by Cubs hitter, sponsored by Traffic Tech. Double up your business with Traffic Tech, the hardest working team in transport.
Busch had a career-high 4 hits in last night's victory, including a home run. And he has his first hit tonight. A double off the second base bag as Bellinger looks at a strike. A changeup, 1-1. Right at the knees. 1 down. Top 5, Cubs 2, Orioles nothing. Burns kicks and delivers. Bellinger chops one right side. It is fielded by the first baseman. Glove toss, Mountcastle to the pitcher. Burns covering the bag in time to get Bellinger. That was a close play. We'll see if the Cubs challenge. Advancing the third on that play, Busch.
No challenge. Excellent play. Mountcastle comes and gets this ball. And once again, straight from the glove with the first baseman's glove, shovels this ball to Burns, and Burns does a good job of catching this ball and being able to get his foot on the bag. It's actually a really nice play, and now they're kind of hanging out on the mound a little bit to give Burns a little break, a little breather. It's very hot, very humid here. He's got 76 pitches, and they're going to take all the time they can on the mound to give him some time to catch his breath. That's 4 tough plays that Burns has had now that he's had to make, and there goes the Joliet native, Mark Carlson. Come on, Mark, get him moving. There we go.
James McCann, the catcher, on the mound, having a long conversation with Burns.
Yeah.
And now Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire and the crew chief from Joliet, he's taking his time going to the mound. I think
they're all
because
tired, man.
He needs a breather.
It's hot. Yeah.
It was 90 degrees at first pitch, but with the humidity.
It's not this hot and humid in Joliet, Mark. Mark's like, come on now.
For the record, our booth is slightly air conditioned, so Mark Carlson can turn around if he hears you and give you the business. All right, 2 away. Man at third in Bush. Seiya Suzuki at the plate, and the pitch. It bounces off the catcher McCann, off to the right, but not far enough for Bush to come home. The pitch was low, 1-0 the count on Suzuki.
Well, with 2 outs now, you've got to take that chance if you're Bush. Third baseman playing way back. So, and the thing about it, Burns has bounced quite a few curveballs and then the first pitch in this at bat. So you really want to get down that line.
Seiya waits the pitch. Check swing and a pitch outside. No swing. The count now 2-0. Cubs right in the heart of their lineup. Sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book a low fare today at southwest.com. Suzuki is 0 for 2. Right-handed batter hits out of a crouch, extends the hands over home plate. The right-hander Burns deals, and Seiya swings and misses at a cutter. 2-1.
Well, I'd like to see Seiya just give up on pulling Burns and just try to shoot this ball the other way. He has had pull swings, and he hasn't gotten any pitches really to pull.
Bush at third, 2 down, 2-1 the count. Suzuki waits the pitch. Outside, 3-1. Ian Happ on deck. Happ's been red hot in the month of July. Burns sets at the belt and delivers the 3-1. Ground ball, base hit in the left field. Cubs extend the lead. Bush comes in to score. RBI single, Seiya Suzuki. It's 3-0 Cubs over the Orioles here in the 5th.
I'll say gets a pitch. He gets ahead in the count is the key. And then Burns throws a pitch in the middle of the plate. Seiya with the hook kind of hooks this ball, but is on time with this four-seam kind of cutter and gets it off the end of the bat, but hits it right in the hole between short and third and ends up driving in a big run for the Cubs.
3-0 Cubs. Suzuki at first. Ian Happ at the plate. First pitch is high and outside. 1-0 the count. We're in the top of the 5th. Suzuki being held on at first by Mountcastle. Burns peers in, gets the sign from his catcher McCann, and deals. Called strike from the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Tonight, we're at Oriole Park at Camden Yards here in Baltimore. Happ switch hitter batting for the left side. Burns deals. Up high. 2-1. Ian entered play tonight in 7 July games, hitting better than 400 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs, including a 3-run jack last night. Throw to first, diving back in, Suzuki. Happ last night became just the 127th all-time shot to reach Utah Street. That's the pathway between the warehouse beyond right field and the ballpark. Seiya goes, the 2-1. Up high, throw to second, not in time. A stolen base for Suzuki.
Good jump by Seiya. Burns kind of gave up on holding Suzuki at first, so he takes off for second, steals a bag. Now the Cubs need a base hit.
And Ian looking to deliver that base hit. 3-1 the count with Suzuki in scoring position, dancing off the second base bag. Burns sets, kicks, and delivers. Called strike. As Burns went with the cutter.
Burns has used the backdoor cutter to Ian quite a bit today. Punched him out in his last at-bat looking on a backdoor cutter.
Now the payoff pitch. Happ hits one softly on the ground, right back to the pitcher Burns. He fields it and throws to first in time, and that ends the top half of the fifth inning, but not before the Cubs add an insurance run on Suzuki's RBI single. Middle five, it's the Cubs 3, Orioles nothing on the Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Catch every moment of every game all season long on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
See Broadway's spellbinding spectacular in Chicago. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Join the next adventure as Harry and his son set off on a mind-blowing race through time. Brought to life before your eyes and beyond your imagination. It's time to believe in magic at Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. September 10th through February 1st at the James M. Niederlander Theater. Get tickets at BroadwayInChicago.com.
Aloha, everyone. John Heilman here, and on my new podcast, In Politics with John Heilman, we roam the corridors of power and influence in America, talking with the people who shape our culture in politics, entertainment, tech, sports, media, and beyond, along with the journalists and authors who chronicle their exploits. The folks who shift and sway our culture are a rare breed indeed, and even rarer are the conversations on In Politics with John Heilman. So follow and listen to In Politics with John Heilman, an Odyssey podcast in partnership with Puck, available now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are concerned about insurance coverage changes making you rethink your relapsing MS treatment? Consider an effective oral therapy that has a well-characterized safety profile, convenient dosing, patient support programs, and that doesn't weaken your immune system long-term while on treatment. Learn more at rethinkrms.com.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car right in your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
On Tuesday, July 23rd, the Cubs take on the Brewers at 7:05 in the evening. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans receive a special edition Nico Horner pin. Purchase tickets at Cubs.com. Bottom five, Cubs with a 3-0 lead. Shota Imanaga deals, and Colton Cowser looks at a strike. A fastball at the knees from Shota. Cowser, left-handed batter. He popped out in his first at-bat, 0 for 1. The lefty Imanaga kicks and fires. An check swing foul ball off to the right. Cowser in the hole, 0-2. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
It's the top of the hour here in Baltimore, 7 o'clock back home in Chicago. Bottom five, Cubs with a 3-0 lead over the Orioles. Colton Cowser at the plate. Shota Imanaga on the mound. The left-hander works on the first base side of the rubber. He kicks and fires. Pitch low and outside, 1-2. The lights beginning to take more and more of an effect. It shouldn't happen this early, but there are gray skies overhead. We're told rain is on the way, about an hour away from right now. So let's play quick. Here's the pitch. Foul back, out of play. 1-2.
Yeah, it was like all of a sudden the clouds rolled in and it's upon us now. You can see it kind of back off behind third base and behind the ballpark, behind home plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count on Cowser. Imanaga delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with a splitter. 1 away. The first out is sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once.
Good pitch by Shota as he gets ahead, throws a couple different pitches in this sequence, and finally finishes it up with a really good split. He's had a couple different ones today. One what's more looks like a changeup. That one had good downward break to it.
James McCann fouls one back, 0-1. Yeah, Imanaga has quite the menu of pitches, which definitely has to play in your head if you're a hitter. Oh, 0-1 the count. Imanaga, hesitation kick and delivery, a swing and a miss. Shota going with the fastball there, 0-2 the count on McCann. Brett Counsell was talking before the game about the flexibility that Imanaga has shown to adapt to Major League Baseball. Here's the 0-2. That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, as you talked about all the pitches that he throws or has in his repertoire, he's been, for the most part, up until like the last few starts, he's been, a 2-pitch pitcher and maybe, a few breaking balls mixed in. Here as of late, he's mixed in some more breaking balls his last couple starts.
McCann swings and fouls one away, out of play off to the right.
Now he does have a couple different types of breaking balls, more of a curve ball. And they say he's got a sweeper. That to me is more like, the way it looks to me, it's more of a slider than it is a sweeping breaking ball. Wisniewski, to me, his breaking ball sweeps across the zone. Shota's is more of a slider.
Now the 1-2.
Good pitch.
Just low, apparently, according to Mark Carlson.
Shota thought it was a strike. He looked in. Mark Carlson just pointed down.
I think you agree with Shota.
I looked on our monitor, and it did show down. Mark Carlson's done a pretty good job today.
The 2-2 is lofted in the air, down the left field line, racing over Happ. It bounces, fair ball, and over the wall for a ground rule double. Just inside the line, short of the wall. It bounced on the track and then bounced over the wall for a ground rule double.
Yeah, this is an off-speed pitch, and they just go out and hook it. It's hit up in the air, and it stays in the air a long time. Ian, I think, thought this ball was going to go foul and hook, but it stays fair, and it's right inside the line for a double.
So McCann at second base with 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Cubs with a 3-0 lead. And the dangerous Gunnar Henderson at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Powerful left-handed batter. Imanaga deals. That pitch is in there for strike. He went with one of those sweeping hooks. 0-1 the count. Henderson with 27 home runs, 61 RBIs. Sitting at 291 on the year. The pitch is low and outside. 1-1 the count. Imanaga peers in, acknowledges the sign from the catcher Amaya, straightens up, sets at the belt, looks at second, kicks and fires. Called strike on the outside corner, a fastball.
Henderson didn't like the call. Last pitch, borderline on the outside corner. Good fastball, a little dart right on the outside corner. Borderline pitch. Mark Carlson has given a little bit on either edge of the strike zone, both in and away.
Here comes the 1-2 delivery by Imanaga. It is hit in the air, foul, out of play by Henderson off to the left. Count remains 1-2. This is kind of what makes the Orioles such a dangerous team. So you have the number 9 hitter, McCann, who reaches base with 1 away via the double. Henderson at the plate now. Behind him, Rutschman. A lot of big bats in the Oriole lineup. The pitch. Henderson fouls it away again. Off to the left, out of play.
Well, they got a lot of young players, but a lot of guys that are having really good years. Henderson hitting just under 300, 27-61. Rutschman hitting 286 going into the game, 16-59. Mountcastle 12-62. I mean, you get a lot of guys that have been driving in a lot of runs.
The 1-2. Pitch low, check swing. Did he go? Doesn't. Yeah, he did. Strike 3. Henderson doesn't like the call. Mark Carlson didn't even appeal. He just pumped out the right fist and pointed to the bat saying, yeah, you went.
Yeah, and he did. Henderson doesn't like it because as a hitter, you never think you go. You always think your bat stops about 6-8 inches before it actually does. And then you always want him to appeal. Mark Carlson did not, but he did have the call correct. And Henderson is out on strikes.
So 2 away. Man at second. Bottom 5 Cubs with a 3-0 lead. Adley Rutschman at the plate for Baltimore. And he looks at a ball high and inside. 1-0 the count. Rutschman hitting from the right side with the lefty Imanaga on the mound. Now the pitch. Called strike, fastball, belt high. Shota now with 4 strikeouts on the night. A long set, and the pitch. High fly ball hit to deep left field. Happ going back at the track near the wall. Backing up, makes the catch. Just short of the wall. Allowed out by Rutschman, but that ends the 5th inning. McCann stranded at second base. We head to inning number 6. The Cubs with a 3-0 lead in Baltimore. On the Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Justin Steele here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, I'm Rhett. And I'm Link. Maybe you know us from our daily YouTube show, Good Mythical Morning. But this is a little trailer for our podcast, Ear Biscuits, where 2 lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. And nothing is off limits. We talk about our sex lives, our mental health journeys, but we try to never take ourselves too seriously. So we invite you to not do the same, or to do the same. We invite you to listen. Follow and listen to Ear Biscuits.
Now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Blackhawk legend Jeremy Roenick, the day after getting into the Hockey Hall of Fame, talked to Parkins and Spiegel on The Score.
The newest member of the Hockey Hall of Fame, 12 years overdue. Jeremy Roenick with us.
Just like yesterday, I was pretty speechless of getting the call.
What was the call in that immediate aftermath like?
I literally almost threw up. To just be totally honest with you, I was in the gym. I came out of the gym, had a great workout, and I looked at my phone and it had a 416 missed call. So I called it back, and it said, "This is a voice recording. Welcome to the Hall of Fame." It was a voice recording, and I was like, "Oh man, why?" And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I think they're announcing the Hall of Fame today." And 5 minutes later, the phone rang again with a 416, and I almost couldn't pick it up. I was so nervous, and my stomach went into knots. And it was Mike Gartner and Lanny McDonald, and I broke down.
Parkins and Spiegel, afternoons 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 670 The Score. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Christopher Morel is on deck. Who's on Deck is sponsored by On Deck. Need a small business loan fast? Apply today at ondeck.com. So I better read this now. Today's Woodman's home run inning contestant is David Folks from Wooddale, who will win the Woodman's gift card jackpot of $1,000. If a Northsider hits a home run this inning, you can enter with a QR code at any Chicago area Woodman's. Good luck, David. Today's Woodman's home run inning contestant, service and savings. That's Woodman's. Pat?
Well, Zach, the guy at the plate, homered earlier. That's Christopher Morel. That began the scoring in the game. Cubs added single tallies. Another run in that second and a single in the 5th. They lead 3-0 as the 6th inning gets underway. Morel pulls away from a high inside fastball from Burns. And we're getting to the point, Ron, on this very hot, humid night. How much longer can both starting pitchers last?
I would agree. Burns now, this next pitch will be pitch number 90 for him.
Morel swings and misses. Breaking ball. Second straight night, a young Cub got the team rolling with a home run early in the game. Last night it was Michael Busch. Cubs romped to a relatively easy 9-2 win. And tonight it was Morel homering right over the center field fence back in the 2nd inning. It's just a relief, I think, Ron. That might be the word when you face a guy like Burns, to get that first run.
Yeah.
Now the 2-2. Fastball, strike 3 call. Morrell got caught looking for something off speed. 1 down. 92 pitches now for Corbin Burns. Cubs leading 3-0. And the batter, Dansby Swanson.
What we said is holding true, right? You got to get this guy early if you're going to get him. Cubs scored 2 in that second inning. They did punch one across on the double by Bush, and then a little single by Suzuki, and the Cubs ended up scoring another run. So he has been pretty stingy with the runs here in the early going after that second inning. But if you can just scratch one out, that's the biggest thing against a guy like this.
Hanging curveball is inside. He's hung 2 in a row. I don't think he'll throw a third. So you're looking for something hard away here?
That cutter, that angled fastball away, absolutely.
Here comes the 2-0. Fastball, there it is. Ripped to right center field. In the gap, base hit. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Swanson will cruise into second with a standing double. He was looking, it appeared, Ron, for that pitch away from him.
Yeah, that's the way you got to hit Burns. If you're going to do any damage against him and you're going to have success as a right-handed hitter, you better be on that fastball cutter type pitch down and away and look to go the other way with it. And if you do, you can do some damage. The Baltimore Orioles, they know that that's how he's pitching. They even set their defense in the outfield up against the righties. The center fielder always plays around towards right center, and they bunch that right center gap.
Pete Crow Armstrong pulls the ball to the right side. It will advance the runner. Out at first on the unassisted play by the first baseman, Mountcastle, is Crow Armstrong, but by pulling it to that side run, it advances the runner and puts Burns in a spot where you got a guy at third with 1 down.
Now with Burns on the bump, now the big key for Swanson is come way down the line. He's going to have a lot of room. If you come way down that line, he may bounce a breaking ball.
Let me correct that run. That's the second out in the inning. Miguel Amaya bounces one over the mound, charging the shortstop. Henderson throwing to first in time to end the inning. Swanson's double goes for naught. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubs 3, Baltimore nothing. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hall of Famer Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer bring you all the action on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
At Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, every journey is unique. From learning to walk again after a spinal cord injury to learning to speak again after a stroke. But they all have the same destination: ability. Choose the #1 rehabilitation hospital, the one with the most advanced treatments, the brightest experts, and the most referrals for the toughest cases. Choose Shirley Ryan Ability Lab.
Running a business is hard work, but it's worth it to bring dreams to life, to create something of value. You've been successful because you know how to get up, get going, and get things done. And because you know how and when to leverage the right tools and partnerships. Sure Payroll has been a proud partner of businesses like yours for 25 years. We offer a suite of tools and a team of passionate professionals to simplify your HR, payroll processing, and benefits. We do what we do so you can do what you do best: dream, create, and succeed. Sign up today and get your first 6 months totally free at surepayroll.com.
You know a spot, but not just a spot, the spot. Actually, with the 2024 Nissan Frontier, you know a bunch of them. But the key to these great spots? Being able to reach them in the first place. Your spot is out there. Find your Frontier in the 2024 Nissan Frontier. With standard 310 horsepower, advanced tech, and 281 pound-foot of torque.
Time to check the out-of-town scoreboard. Fueled by Citgo Dry Clean Gasoline. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. The Twins and White Sox split a doubleheader on the south side. White Sox take game 1 3-1. The Twins, game 2, a 3-2 victory over the White Sox.
Shota Imanaga working on a shutout. A 4-hit shutout as we start the bottom of the 6th inning. Slow curve is a strike. to Ryan Mountcastle. Here comes the 0-1. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt. What else you got, Zach?
In game one of a doubleheader in St. Louis, the Royals a 6-4 winner over the Cardinals. Salvador Perez went deep for Kansas City. Game two underway. After two, it's the Cardinals with a 1-0 lead over the Royals. Lars Nootbaar with his 6th home run of the year.
1-1 pitch, low and inside. It's 2-1.
Top six, Tigers lead the Guardians 4-3. Matt Vierling with a 2-run home run for Detroit. The Mariners a 2-0 leader over the Padres in the top half of the 7th inning.
The 2-1 from Imanaga. Soft line drive, opposite field. It's going to be a base hit. Not a hard hit ball. He got jammed. Able to fist one over the head of Bush into shallow right. It is a leadoff single. Cubs lead 3-0. The batter is Anthony Santander. What else you got, Zach?
Bottom 5 in Tampa. The Yankees lead the Rays 2-1. Trent Grisham with an RBI double for New York. Kyle Schwarber goes deep. Phillies lead the Dodgers 2-1. They're in the top of the 5th inning in Philadelphia. The Rockies over the Reds 4-1 now, top of the 5th. Sam Hilliard with a 2-run home run for the Rockies.
Santander takes a strike.
Juan Yepes, the former Cardinal, with an RBI single for Washington. The Nationals on top of the Mets 2-1. They're in the last of the 5th in New York. Bottom 4, A's 3, Red Sox nothing. Marlins and Astros scoreless in the last of the 1st.
Anthony Santander takes low and inside, 1-1.
They're underway in Milwaukee. Pat, bottom 1, Pirates and Brewers are scoreless.
Zach, thanks for your fine work. Here it is, 3-0 Cubs. Bottom of inning number 6. Nobody out and a runner at first for Baltimore. And the next pitch fouled at the plate by Santander. We'll be right out here again tomorrow night. Series finale, same time as the first 2 nights. Justin Steele against Albert Suarez. Good matchup tonight, featuring a pair of pitchers that'll be in the All-Star game. Shota Imanaga and Corbin Burns. Here comes the 1-2. Fly ball, shallow right. Routine play for Bellinger. The left-handed right fielder makes an easy catch, and that's out number 1. First out sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once. 1 out, 1 on. Shota has scattered the hits nicely. He's allowed 5. No more than 1 hit in any of the 6 innings. Jordan Westberg takes outside, 1-0. His control has been good. Has not been too far behind in the count to many hitters at all. He's walked 1. Looking for his 8th win against 2 losses. The 1-0. Fly ball, left center field, pretty well hit. Back goes Happ near the wall. That ball's off the top of the fence. He just missed a home run. It'll be a double for Westbrook. Westberg putting men at second and third with 1 down. That tall fence out there, he just missed clearing it. And now the Orioles with men at second and third with 1 away.
Boy, and that ball, it really does. That's right at that 398 mark in left center field, and it hits right at the top of the wall. Yeah, bounces high off the warning track. Ian plays it on a hop and keeps the run from scoring, which was a good play by Ian. And now Shota with 1 out. He has second and third.
Tommy Hardavy along with an interpreter out to see about Shota Imanaga. The interpreter's name, Edwin Strawberry. I believe I misread this. Stanberry, I believe, is the name. Stanberry does enjoy a bowl of strawberries every now and again. I do know that. Runners at second and third. One away, bottom of the sixth. Cubs keep the infield back. Shota missing outside. Pitch count for Shota up to 92. So he's nearing, he knows he's nearing the end of his night of work, Ron. You just don't want to make a critical mistake at this stage. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Excellent split there. He's had some difficulties with the split today. He's thrown some really good ones, and then he's thrown some that have just acted more like a changeup than anything else.
Infield back, the 1-1 from Shota. A little bit low for a ball. 2-1. The crowd really showing some life for one of the very few times all night.
Kind of looks to me like Hayes is kind of sitting on the split finger.
The 2-1 looped foul out of play.
Yeah,
now Shota's thinking about a strikeout. What pitch could do it?
I think Hayes is sitting on split finger. So that last fastball inside got way in on him. It was a good pitch in the zone on the corner, but he was way late on. So to me, I would take that to heart. I'd go back inside again with that up and in fastball at the top of the zone and see if he can get a punch out.
Austin Hayes has doubled and flied to left. He's hit the ball hard twice. Second and third, one away. Cubs lead by 3, bottom of the 6th inning. And the 2-2 from Imanaga. Here it comes. Swing and a foul at the plate. He just did make contact.
Pitch was down. It was in a good location. Hayes took a big rip at it and was on time with that speed. To me, that tells me that he took the split that was down. He saw it real well a couple pitches ago and then was late on a fastball. See if you zip a fastball back inside one more time.
This is going to be Shota's 97th delivery of the game. And the 2-2 on the way. Strike 3 call. He was looking for something off speed. Shota surprised him with a fastball right around the knees, and that is out number 2. That's his biggest strikeout of the night.
Well, you know a hitter is looking for the split. One we could tell because he was on time with the speed of the split in the at-bat. But with 2 strikes, when you throw a fastball right down the middle at the knees and the hitter takes it, he was dead sitting on split finger. Great job by Shota and Amaya to call that fastball and get the out.
Mateo fouls it away deep to right. Jorge Mateo has grounded out twice to third base.
Hey, now if you're Christopher, he's playing in even with the bag at third. To me, with 2 outs now, he could back up and play deep. And what you're trying to do is keep the ball in the infield.
And the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Change up. He missed it by a wide margin. What do you like here, Ron?
Now this, I like the split. We've gotten a couple rollover ground balls, and he's out in front. I'd keep throwing that split down and away and see if he can get the strikeout.
2 strikes on the batter. Runners at second and third. Cubs lead by 3, 6th inning. With 2 outs and 2 strikes, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There are some Cub fans here in Baltimore, and they stand behind that Cubs third base dugout and roar their approval for Shota Imanaga. What a game he has pitched. We're not sure that he's leaving, but he quite possibly is. 6 shutout innings against one of the highest-powered offensive teams in the big leagues.
Yeah, it's been an outstanding performance by Shota.
We go to inning number 7, Cubs 3, Baltimore nothing. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Running a business is hard work, but it's worth it. To bring dreams to life, to create something of value. You've been successful because you know how to get up, get going, and get things done. And because you know how and when to leverage the right tools and partnerships. Sure Payroll has been a proud partner of businesses like yours for 25 years. We offer a suite of tools and a team of passionate professionals to simplify your HR, payroll processing, and benefits. We do what we do so you can do what you do best. Dream, create, and succeed. Sign up today and get your first 6 months totally free at surepayroll.com.
Moving day means that you and the things that matter to you are in for a big transition. There's a lot to figure out. New closets, different counter space, change of floor plan. No worries. CubeSmart is here, so you have a place for everything. It's our job to make self-storage as easy as possible. Online or in person, this is a self-storage experience that puts the focus on you because you matter to us. With self-storage that fits seamlessly into your life, you'll have plenty of peace of mind to unpack along the way. Click now to find a self-storage solution near you.
There's a mountain range 800 feet below the surface of the Pacific Ocean that submarines must navigate in total darkness. Thousands of miles away, Kendra builds equipment that guides these vessels safely. 2 years ago, she didn't even know there were mountains underwater. Career path upgraded. Learn more about careers in maritime manufacturing at careersbuilttolast.com. Paid for by the U.S. Department of the Navy in partnership with Blue Forge Alliance.
Nico Horner bounces the first pitch to the right side against the new Baltimore pitcher. It's gloved by Mateo, and a short toss to first is in time for out number one. Perez is the new pitcher. CNL Perez. 26 innings of work, ERA about 3.8. Well, Burns will not get the win. That's an absolute certainty. I thought the Cubs had a pretty good approach against him, Ron. 3 runs on 9 hits through 6 innings. That's more than a lot of teams do against Corbin Burns.
I absolutely agree. I think they did a very good job. And to me, for the right-handers, it really makes sense to go the other way. Some guys did. Christopher stayed to the middle of the field. We saw the last inning, Dansby shooting one the other way, but there were some balls hit to the pull side against Burns that the Cubs got some hits.
Michael Busch will take a strike. Michael 1 for 3, scored after his double hit the second base bag back in the 5th inning. Kind of a fluke, but he'll take it. And when you're in a hot streak, those are the kinds of things that happen for you. Here comes the 1-2 from the lefty Perez. Poked foul by Busch, left side out of play. All opposing pitching changes. Sponsored by Sloan. Sloan is the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Now the 1-2, poke foul out of play. Busch having a lot of good-looking at-bats here lately.
Yeah, he really is. He's on, and it's not just against the righties. He's done some damage and had good at-bats against left-handers, using the whole field.
And the 1-2, fly ball to center, playable for Cowser, and that's going to be out number 2. 2 gone, Cody Bellinger coming up.
But even that at-bat there, that's a good swing he put on that ball, just didn't square it up. But he definitely is a guy that is going to play his way into facing the left-handers also. He is doing an excellent job of staying in there on all the left-handers.
Bellinger checks and takes low and inside for ball 1. 7th inning sponsored in part by Volvo, the plug-in hybrid vehicles from Volvo, electric cars with a backup plan. Visit your local retailer to learn more. Here's the 1-0 to Bellinger, a big swing and a foul at the plate. That swing had extra bases in mind behind it.
And had warehouse behind it.
Mm-hmm. And now the 1-1 from Perez. Pulled on the ground foul toward first. Another good cut by Cody. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Ron is a part of that QQQ company. It seems like since Ron joined them, they have been a more prominent commercial sponsor on Cubs radio. Not sure if there's a cause and effect. There's a pitch. Look out. Bellinger gets hit by the pitch. Cody got hit in the hand or the arm. He's walking in foul territory. That had to hurt. That was not a glancing blow by any means. It hit him flush. He is near the first base coaching box. That's painful just to watch.
Yeah, you can tell him trying to move his left arm, I believe, is just not working real well. Getting another look. Oh, I think it hit him in the fingers, actually.
Oof.
Oh, my.
Watching it again, he was trying to get out of the way, pulling the fingers in. Maybe the back of the left thumb, possibly?
I think, yeah, the left thumb. It's the left hand. Yeah, his hands are shaking. You can tell.
Oof.
So we're getting a shot. Looks like his middle finger and the thumb. He's wanting to stay in. Nick Frangella, Cubs trainer, out there holding his hand, trying to get him to squeeze. And he's going to try to stay in this game. Nick Frangella is not ready for him to just stay in the game.
He is apparently going to stay in the game. Craig Counsell and Nick Frangella head back to the Cubs' third base dugout as we watch it one more time. Left-handed batter got hit by the left hand near the fingers or the wrist area. Couldn't tell exactly, Ron, with the batting gloves on.
I think the finger that took the blunt of the hit was his middle finger on his left hand. You're hearing some crowd noise. We just had a little lightning, and when you get a little lightning, you get a little thunder. And that's what we're getting here in Baltimore.
And we were told there would be a chance for some showers. It has been dry all night until now.
Still not raining here, but I'm guessing it's not far away.
Seventh inning, Cubs lead 3-0. Seiya Suzuki takes low and inside. Seiya had a clutch run-scoring single back in the fifth inning. That came with 2 outs. Christopher Morel, a homer in the second. Nico Horner had a 2-out RBI single in the second inning. Here comes the 1-1 to Suzuki. Bouncing ball foul pass first. We'll get the attendance here shortly. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com. Now the 1-2. Broken bat looper foul, right side out of play. The bat, the broken part with the big barrel, went out to the mound, and the pitcher had to jump to avoid being nailed by that jagged piece of wood.
I mean, right underneath the legs. That was kind of a crazy play.
Two outs in the inning. Cubs out hitting Baltimore 9-6. Leading 3-0. Trying to make it 2 in a row over the vaunted Baltimore Orioles. This team has not lost a lot of series in their home park, that's for sure. The 1-2. Poke foul off to the right and out of play. Cubs winning last night 9-2, almost a relatively easy win. Today, a much tighter, closer game. Baltimore's home record 29-18. Now Seiya takes low and inside. 2-2. Let's see if he gets something to hammer here.
Well, I'd love to see him take this two-seam fastball or something off speed and see if you can pound this ball to right center where the ball really carries here in Camden Yard.
Suzuki swings and misses. Strike 3 on a breaking ball. Cubs don't score. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs 3, Baltimore nothing. This is the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Nico Horner here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Whether you're into blowout backyard bashes or simple soirees al fresco, Uni is here to fire up your summer entertaining plans with the brand new Coda 2 Max gas-powered pizza oven. It sports a massive 24-inch cooking area, and it's got 2 independently controlled temperature zones. That means you can roast a chicken on one side while baking a hot, crispy, cheesy New York-style pizza on the other. You can even do 3 10-inch pizzas at once while monitoring temperatures via the Uni app on your smartphone. Because the Coda 2 Max isn't just an oven, it's your summer party co-pilot. Make your summer an Uni Coda 2 Max summer. Learn more at uni.com. That's OONI.com.
Moving day means that you and the things that matter to you are in for a big transition. There's a lot to figure out. New closets, different counter space, change of floor plan. No worries. CubeSmart is here, so you have a place for everything. It's our job to make self-storage as easy as possible. Online or in person, this is a self-storage experience that puts the focus on you because you matter to us. With self-storage that fits seamlessly into your life, you'll have plenty of peace of mind to unpack along the way. Click now to find a self-storage solution near you.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
All reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Pat?
Cody Bellinger has left the game, and so has Shota Imanaga. The new Cub pitcher, the big left-hander Luke Little, and the new right fielder, I believe that is Patrick Wisdom out there. We'll confirm that momentarily. Pete Crow Armstrong still in center, Happ in left. The infield is unchanged. Bush at first, Horner at second, Swanson at short, Morrell at third. Amaya catching. And now let's see if the bullpen can preserve this one for Shota Imanaga and the Chicago Cubs.
It's been such a well-played ball game by the Cubs so far and a well-pitched game by Shota. Cubs need to get just a couple innings out of the bullpen to get them a W.
Colton Cowser will take ball one. Cowser nothing for two. James McCann on deck. And then Gunnar Henderson. We're in the bottom of the seventh inning. Questionable, in fact, threatening weather in the area.
6 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts.
No rain yet. Each team has left 7 men on base. And now the 2-1. Big bouncer, going to be a tough play. Little will turn and throw to first in time. For some reason, Ron, the batter, Cowser, did not leave the home plate area right away.
I'm not sure why. He chops this ball into the, I don't know if he thought maybe it hit him or he was going to try to do that, but I just, I'm surprised, and that was just an odd play. So Little, at the start of this inning, started that at bat, he threw too many warm-up pitches, is what we're being told, and there was a pitch clock violation by Little. Didn't matter. He got the out.
James McCann will look at a strike. 1 away, 7th inning. Cubs led by 3.
But pitch clock violations, they're powered by Work Zone Safety. Make sure you follow Work Zone signs because it's not a game.
The 0-1 to McCann is upstairs. I don't remember seeing that, Ron. A guy making too many warm-up pitches coming in. Yeah, usually the umpire's kind of indicating you got 2 more.
Yeah, right.
And you got 1 more.
It's just kind of an odd thing. I'm not real sure what happened.
1-1. There's a strike in the count, 1-2. Excellent outing by Shota Imanaga. I would say he pitched like an all-star in this game.
Absolutely.
Here's the 1-2. Look out, almost hit him. That pitch way off the inside edge. I'm not sure how McCann avoided being grazed. McCann has fouled out to third and doubled. Little already drenched in sweat. And he's made about 6 pitches. Here comes the 2-2. Inside, almost hit the batter. It's now 3-2. Oh, we had that thunder clapper in the area. But no rain, and the wind is still blowing, but it's been blowing for 2 full nights. Here comes the payoff pitch from Luke Little. Check swing. Did he swing? No swing. No swing. The ball hitting the batter. So he is hit by the pitch as we watch it again, Ron.
Yeah, this is another little slider inside. He stayed inside last 3 pitches, and this ball catches him in the back thigh, right above the knee. So that's not what you're looking for, to hit the number 9 guy and then to get the top of this lineup up with a man on. See if Little can pitch his way out of this.
Gunnar Henderson takes outside. Gunnar has grounded out to second. Fly to center. He is nothing for 3 in the game. Lefty to lefty. Gunnar will take a strike, 1-1.
We were talking on Luke Little he's sweating, but I think he's having some issues with that sweat going down his arm into his throwing hand as he keeps wiping off his wrist area to try to keep the sweat from his hand.
Inside for ball 2. Right-hander Porter Hodge is throwing in the Cub bullpen. The bullpens are adjacent to one another out beyond the left center field fence. And the 2-1. Big chop slowly hit right side. Going to be a tough play. Horner bare hands, throws to first. Not in time. Infield single, Gunnar Henderson. Nico made the play about as well as you could. He just couldn't get him.
Once this ball gets past Little on the mound, and he's a lefty falling off the third base side, and the ball's hit on the second, towards Nico at second. Once it gets past Little, it's going to be a base hit. There's nothing Nico is going to be able to do. So now you get 2 men on and only 1 out. And once again, we talk about Henderson being just a great player. He is 6'3", 220, 230 pounds, and he can really go down that line.
He was able to beat it out for the infield single. Now the tying run and the middle of the order coming up for Baltimore.
I like what Luke Little's doing here. He's got the rosin bag out now, the one that dries more than it's sticky. And he's going all up and down his throwing arm with it to try to stop some of this sweat from going down into his hand. He was having a real issue in the at-bat against Henderson.
1 away, bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs lead 3-0. Baltimore threatening with men at first and second. And Adley Rutschman at the plate. First pitch strike, 0-1. Rutschman 0 for 2 with a walk. Outfield deep and straight away for Rutschman. And the 0-1 from Luke Little. Poke foul right side. Good pitch, 0-2. What are you thinking here?
Boy, that was a really good pitch. That was good fastball running away. And now all of a sudden, if you can hear the fans, they are making their exit in a hurry as the rain is just cut loose here at Camden Yards.
It is pouring down. I wonder how long they will continue. 1 away, runners at first and second, and the home plate umpire, Mark Carlson, says,
I think he just wants to make sure that Little is letting Rutschman make sure he's looking at him before. And now I think Mark Carlson is saying, let's stop. I think he wants the grounds crew to come out and start getting the tarp out on the field.
Well, it is absolutely pouring down rain right now. There's no way you could play in this. So as much as we all would like to see the game continue, you've got to let common sense kick in, Ron, and this just makes sense.
Well, and they've been communicating. Mark Carlson has been communicating with the head groundskeeper, and they're going to bring this tarp out. So they knew it was coming, and then you knew right away that they were going to have to pull the tarp out, and they're getting it out now.
The first thing they cover, the mound and the plate area. Now they've got the gigantic plastic tarpaulin that is being unfurled out in shallow right field, and the grounds crew will hustle to the various sides of that tarpaulin and start dragging it across the infield. The rain has abated somewhat, not raining nearly as hard now as it was 2 or 3 minutes ago, but it's still coming down.
Yeah, it's coming down hard. They're going to try to get this tarp on. It's a little bit of a process right now.
The grounds crew hustling. Now they've got everything in place. They will start dragging it across the infield. Gigantic white plastic tarpaulin. I think the grounds crew did a very efficient job. Nice job. It's all covered. Now the question is, how long is it going to rain?
Yeah, that's right. That's the big thing. Yeah, and we knew it was coming. You could see it in the weather report, so we will just have to sit here and wait.
We will take a timeout and see what the plan is. Zach Zaidman is contacting everyone he knows, and he'll have a plan. He always does. We are in the 7th inning. Cubs lead 3-0. Baltimore has runners at first and second with 1 out and an 0-2 count on Adley Rutschman, with Luke Little doing the pitching for the Cubs. That's where we are, and it's where we will be when we resume after this rain delay. We'll be back with more in a moment. You are listening with the Cubs leading 3-0. You're listening to The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for Cubs baseball all season long. The Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
I am your tech-savvy AI assistant.
At Hyundai, all our 2024 models offer tech-savvy features, like available digital key and complimentary BlueLink Plus. It's user-friendly technology.
I'm friendly.
Can you figure out time travel?
Yes.
It's your journey. Own every mile.
Lease the Tucson for $249 a month or get $1,250 bonus cash on select Tucson hybrids. See your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealer today. Offers end July 31st. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
Step into the batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your best swing. Log into your BetMGM sports account, then visit your promotions section to access the free-to-play game. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Illinois only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary depending on market and expire 24 hours from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB2 53342 in partnership with Paradise Hotel Casino.
Zach Zaidman with you back at Camden Yards in Baltimore, where we are officially in a rain delay. Cubs leading the Orioles 3-0. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning, 1 away. And the Orioles have men at first and second with Adley Rutschman at the plate, Luke Little on the mound. It continues to rain. There is a giant white plastic tarpaulin covering the infield playing surface, and the big video board in center field says the following. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Weather Service forecasts show a continued threat of lightning strikes in the ballpark area. So in order to keep everyone safe, the Orioles are asking all of those currently sitting in open areas of the seating bowl to please seek shelter in covered areas of the ballpark. So that gives you an idea of what we are dealing with here in Baltimore at the moment. Game 2 of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Orioles. Shota Imanaga went 6 innings for the Cubs, did not allow a run, gave up 6 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. His 11th quality start of the season. Imanaga now has a 2.97 ERA, an impressive performance for the 30-year-old rookie left-hander from Japan. All right, without any further ado, let's begin Rain Delay Theater and hear from Cubs left fielder Ian Happ, who was on with Bernstein and Rahimi this week on Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score.
What's happening, Ian? How are you?
How are you guys?
We are doing really well. Well, what was it like inside the clubhouse when you guys found out that Shota was going to be an all-star?
Yeah, I mean, just an awesome moment. You know, he deserves it. He's been such a rock for us, and so good this year, and to be honored like that to represent the Cubs is pretty special, and I'm excited for him.
I think had you started your heater like a week or a week and a half earlier, we'd be talking about you as an all-star. I was thinking about that. And this was because you start looking at the overall numbers, and maybe it was just a little late to get people top of mind, but maybe just a little earlier you'd be there.
Yeah, it's the all-star voting is interesting. You got to play well early, and it kind of coming up right on the break, playing well doesn't always bode perfect. I think it was probably pretty close, and there's some outfitters who have had really good years and definitely deserve it. So the all-star voting is an interesting one.
Last week, Cody Bellinger said something that was really interesting about kind of like where he's at as a hitter overall. And I mean, if you look at his OPS plus, his WRC plus numbers, they're not far off of where he has been for his career. But he made the point about the sacrifice that happens when you're chasing slug. And I'd love to know from your perspective, like what are the things that hitters have to look out for if their team, or maybe they're feeling like they need to chase slug to help their team out? What do you risk as a hitter if you are chasing slug?
Yeah, it's definitely different for every guy, but there's times when it feels like the slug is coming naturally, and when you're getting your best swings off, it's producing doubles and home runs. And there's times that when you're getting your swing off, the ball's going a little bit lower, it's hard ground balls, it's singles, and kind of when you start to chase that, whether it's hitting the ball harder or launching it higher, sometimes you're more susceptible to getting out in front of pitches to say like, hey, I'm really going to jump this heater because I want to hit it in the pull side in the air, chasing sliders, chasing off-speed pitches, getting maybe overly aggressive on a fastball that's not in the right spot to drive, chasing something up. Like, I think that's kind of what happens, and you tend to do that in 0-0, 1-0, kind of 2-0 counts where you have a little bit of leverage. And then you kind of put yourself on the 8 ball. Say you swing at a bad pitch, 0-0, you swing at a bad pitch, 1-0, and it changes the count to 0-1, 1-1. And then in this, the way that the game's being played and pitched, now you're looking at, this guy just got a swing off on a heater, missed it, fouled it off, chase something. We're going to go back to the chase pitch. We're going to go to the backdoor breaking ball, change up down and away, and then you get to a place where you're really battling. And when it's coming naturally, and when your swing is producing that slug, you don't have to try to do more. You're on the fastball, you're squaring it up, you're doing the damage you want to do, you're getting yourself into more of those leverage counts. And so it's always that fine balance.
It's interesting too, because of the drop in overall fastball usage and throwing fastballs for strikes. We were just talking about that with this article that we're reading about Brian Bannister and what so many smart people have been doing. How often then can you hit a pitcher's non-fastball, a well-executed pitcher's pitch? Can a good major league hitter ever barrel one of those up anymore, or is it almost always some semblance of a mistake, either not enough spin or not quite the right spot?
I would say generally it's more mistakes. I think just the way the guys are, how much pitches are moving, how much guys are throwing pitches. It's definitely hitter dependent, because some guys dominate strike spin no matter what. Some guys just really hit strike spin well. And so if it's strike spin down across the bottom of the zone and the middle of the zone, guys dominate it, that it's kind of hitter dependent. But when a guy executes his pitch, if a pitcher throws a really, really good backdoor slider, or, a guy with a really good splitter, really good changeup, puts it to the down and away corner, that's a really hard pitch to drive. It's a really hard pitch to get leverage to. And, if I'm hitting left-handed, there's a guy with a really good splitter and he throws it to the perfect spot down and away, there's not a lot I can do with it. I can stay through it and hit a single up the middle. I can, stay on it to the backside and maybe squeak one through the left side, but I'm not going to drive that pitch, I guess. And so those pitches are hard to execute. And I think as hitters, the more that you can take the ones just off, the ones that are balls, to get yourself to a count where you're forcing a guy to throw something more in the middle of the zone, you look at the numbers, that is, the heart, they call it. So all the pitches kind of in the middle, that's where most of the damage is done.
Ian, we haven't asked you a lot about Michael Busch, but considering this is still he's still technically a rookie, even with the games played for the Dodgers last year, he's done a really good job of taking an initial adjustment, like having success in April, then not as much in May, and then fighting his way back through it. How hard is that? Like when you're first coming up to try and make the adjustment to the adjustment?
It's really hard. Your first year, even your second year, as the league adjusts to you and being able to figure out what that is, what they're trying to do, it kind of goes in 2 weeks or month spurts of how stuff changes as teams are catching on and seeing it. And so he's done a great job making those adjustments. He's been great against lefties. And he's still learning. And he's still continuing to learn. I think that's the hardest part about the game today and the social media and everything is that you're expecting guys to make that change or to be that superstar right away. And, there's only so many Chris Bryants, right? There's only so many guys that come up right away and are absolutely dominant from day one and, win a Rookie of the Year and then an MVP. There's the Harpers and the Machados and the Chris Bryants. There's only so many of those guys that come around, maybe one a year, not very frequently. And so to expect every single person to be that it is really a challenge. And Bushy's done a great job of continuing to make adjustments. He will continue to do that. Like his strikeout rate will come down over the course of his career. He'll figure out how to foul off those tough pitches or how to go out and get the pitch that guys have been getting ahead of him with. Like he'll continue to make those adjustments. It's not a process that happens immediately, but the production that he's had, his ability to walk has been super impressive, especially hitting the 2-hole in front of a few of us that have been able to drive in some runs because of it. And his defense at first base, he's done such a good job. He's been working really hard on it. He's continues to look more and more comfortable over there. And all of those things come together. He's been, just such a great piece for us. And it's really fun to watch him.
You had a teammate do something that a baseball player does every once in a while, that in a fit of pique, an angry baseball player will break a hand or do something otherwise ridiculous. Now, we know that there have been times in your career where you have been more tightly wound than other times. At any level, how close have you come to one of those injuries, whether punching a wall or whether slamming a helmet down so it ricochets back in your face? Anything at any stage? I mean, back to like 8U, where you've done anything like
that? Yeah, maybe I've had a couple of ricochet moments. I try to throw stuff away from me, try to get it far away. I have a couple times I've slammed a helmet and held on to it. That'll hurt. Like there's times when the emotion takes over and you do something you instantly regret. I think I've learned over time if you're going to throw something, have a nice hallway that you can go down.
Do you guys I heard the Brewers have a heavy bag in their clubhouse. Do you guys have anything like that, a heavy bag or a speed bag, where if you do want to punch the wall, there's something that you can punch where you're not going to break your hand?
No, not in our clubhouse. The Brewers in their visiting side in the bathroom just off the dugout have a heavy bag in there. If guys want to go take out some frustration, probably saves their bat rack and some walls along the way.
I didn't think about it that way. That's super smart by them making sure that the visiting clubhouse has something where they don't have to do paint and stuff when the other team leaves.
Yeah, don't have to replace anything. That they're thinking ahead.
So what would an all-star break, when you have been in the all-star game before, we know that you were picking out that blue suit, you were planning the various festivities. How are you going to unwind this all-star break?
I'm going to be in Chicago, play some golf, get to spend some family time, and get to decompress for a few days. It's a short break. It goes very, very fast. But I'll just be relaxed in Chicago. We get to open the second half at home, which is nice. So we don't have to travel on that Thursday. So get back from St. Louis and just try to relax for a few days and let the body recover.
Are you good at relaxing? Some of us are terrible at it, and
the two guys that host this show are terrible.
I'm awful at it, and I hate when people are asking me like, "Boy, is this relaxing? Aren't you relaxed?" And then my heart rate goes up, and I think, "No, now don't make me assess my level of relaxation because now you're making me crazy." Do you just have to kind of coast, or because I know as competitive as you are on the golf course, that might be hard too.
Yeah, I'm not a great relaxer. I'm pretty bad at it. Try to take those days and I wouldn't say that relaxing is the thing. I think it's mentally resting. This game can be, you kind of put yourself underwater for 6 months, and that's the one point in the middle of the season you get to come up for air for a second, and not have to go in, not have to do your prep, not have to take your at bats. So just to get that little bit of a mental break, I think is the more important thing. Definitely, there's your body gets really used to the adrenaline and to spiking every day, whether that's at 1:20 or 7 p.m. So those days, definitely there's still a little bit of an adrenaline spike when you're supposed to be going to the field. And the first 2 days for sure feel a little bit weird because you're, 1 o'clock rolls around and do I have to go to work? No, I don't have to go to work today. All right, we can relax. And so just the mental break is kind of the big part of it.
I know that you like to compartmentalize, and you're trying to take it, pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat. But this week of games for you guys, these 7 games with Baltimore and St. Louis, this feels like a really big week for you guys. Does it feel that way to you all?
I think sure, I understand the importance of the time in the schedule and where we're at and playing a couple good teams, but it's playing baseball, and we got to do the same stuff. We got to go and prepare the same way, and we can't win. We can't go 6-1 on the road trip before getting the first one. So it's all about preparing for today and who we're going to face and what we're going to do against the O's, and kind of going from there. I know that's the simple answer, but it's how you have to approach every day, and I think that we can't get too far ahead of ourselves.
Well, good luck and keep up the hot hitting. Here's to things turning around for you.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.
Ian Happ earlier this week with Bernstein and Holmes on Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on The Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs and all of Chicago's teams. Mully and Hawk, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Zach Saban back with you at Camden Yards. It has stopped raining, and we are ready to resume baseball. Here, Pat and Ron.
Zach, thank you. Big Luke Little still on the mound. Rain delay hit in the bottom of this 7th inning. Cubs leading 3-0. Baltimore with runners at first and second and 1 down. Little working on Adley Rutschman. Some of the fans left, but the majority of fans have hung around. Cubs trying to make it 2 in a row against a very strong Baltimore team. It's Shota Imanaga's game to win. Ready for the resumption of play. Rain delay of maybe 25 minutes or thereabouts. And here we go. Tying run at the plate. 1 away, bottom of the 7th inning. 0-2 on the batter, Adley Rutschman. Little pauses and brings it. Strike 3 call. Almost like the batter, Rutschman, wasn't quite ready after the delay, Ron.
I think he felt like he was going to get a breaking ball and it was going to bounce, or, a waste pitch. And Little comes in, throws 1 pitch, fastball down the middle at the knees, strike 3, and out comes counts, and that's going to be the end of the day for Little. Thank you for hanging with us during the delay, 1 pitch, and enjoy the rest of the night.
Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Sponsored by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. A pitching change coming up. Coming in for the Cubs. And Cubs pitching changes. By now you probably remember those are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products. Siding with the Cubs. Tying run at the plate for Baltimore. Bottom of the 7th inning. When we come back right after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
If it happens in a Cubs game, it happens right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit xfinity.com/network management.
Ready to transform your space from drab to fab? Look no further than your neighborhood Benjamin Moore store. They're your partners in paint perfection, offering a kaleidoscope of quality colors and finishes from bold to subtle. Their paints are designed to impress and endure. Their expert team provides personalized guidance every step of the way, ensuring your project shines. Whether you're a pro or a DIY enthusiast, let Benjamin Moore bring your vision to life. Ignite your creativity today and visit benjaminmoore.com for a location near you.
Another quality start for Shota Imanaga. 6 scoreless innings. Gave up 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Lowers the ERA to 2.97. Quality starts by Cubs pitchers are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. See quality come to life with Benjamin Moore paints in 3,500 colors. Visit benjaminmoore.com for a location near you. Pat?
Zach, thank you. Ball game on the line. Ryan Mountcastle has 12 home runs, dangerous. Porter Hodge, the Cubs right-hander, fires inside for a ball. So many power threats up and down this lineup for Baltimore. Wisdom playing in right. Again, Bellinger has left the game. Crow Armstrong in center, Happ in left. Now the 1-0. Fastball strike from Porter Hodge. What does a brief rain delay do, if anything, to your concentration, Ron?
And nothing really. You just, if you know that you get an idea of that, the rain is going to come and go, and you just kind of keep yourself. It's almost like on in between innings type thing where I don't think the clubhouse is right in behind the dugout, so you shoot in there. You might change shirts real quick or something, but that's about it. You'll be ready to play.
Miles Mastrobuoni has come into play right field after the delay.
There you go.
And now the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled away. Porter got away with that one. Mountcastle, 3 for 3, all singles. Cubs out hitting Baltimore 9-7, leading 3-0. 2 outs, men at first and second. The 1-2. Fly ball to right, slicing toward foul territory. Over is Mastrobuoni. No play from Miles. The ball was in the corner, not too far from the foul pole, actually. But it did not have distance.
But the thing is, you come into the game now, you haven't been playing, and then you get a rain delay. Now Mastrobuoni comes into the game, and what's the first ball? It's not a routine pop-up to you. It's a ball right down into the corner. That's going to be probably the most difficult play you could have here at Camden Yards.
The game seems to know when there's a brand new guy on the field.
Yeah, it's amazing.
2 outs, 2 on. Cubs lead by 3. Bottom of the 7th inning. Porter Hodge working on Ryan Mountcastle, the pitch. Breaking ball is low. Slider that time. Now it's 2-2. Would you like a high, hard one here?
I like that same pitch again. I'd go back to back. You threw one, and you threw it kind of where you wanted it down and away. See if you go back with another slider down and away. See if you can get a little chase or a little routine ground ball.
The 2-2. Fly ball to center. Shallow. Racing in. Pete Crow Armstrong. He's there. Makes the running catch. That young guy can cover the ground in a hurry. Nice job by Porter Hodge. A routine fly ball to center ends the inning. We move to inning number 8. Cubs 3, Baltimore nothing. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Anything can happen anytime in any game right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
A special message from your family jewels brought to you by Old Spice Total Body.
Hey, it stinks down here. Why do armpits get all of the attention? You're down here all day with no odor protection. Wait, what's that? Vanilla and shea. That's Old Spice Total Body Deodorant. 24/7 freshness from pits to privates with daily use. It's so gentle. We've never smelled so good. Shop Old Spice Total Body Deodorant now.
This summer, enjoy less tan lines and more dashed white lines. Less theme park lines and more instantaneous power. Less behind the desk and more behind the wheel. Find the one for you this summer at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Get offers on select Lexus electrified vehicles. But hurry, the opportunity ends September 3rd. Click the banner to discover more. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Moving day means that you and the things that matter to you are in for a big transition. There's a lot to figure out. New closets, different counter space, change of floor plan. No worries. CubeSmart is here, so you have a place for everything. It's our job to make self-storage as easy as possible. Online or in person, this is a self-storage experience that puts the focus on you because you matter to us. With self-storage that fits seamlessly into your life, you'll have plenty of peace of mind to unpack along the way. Click now to find a self-storage solution near you.
3-0 Cubs, top of the 8th inning. And this 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. To donate your car today, Patrick.
Round of Cubs coming up in the 8th inning. Leading by 3. It is Shota Imanaga's game to win. Corbin Burns on the hook for the loss at this point. Ian Happ is first up. Christopher Morel and Dansby Swanson to follow. A small crowd, very disappointing. 20,694. Baltimore has one of the very best records in all of baseball. And this place is less than half full. Here comes the 1-0 pitch now to Ian Happ. Changeup is low and inside.
Yeah, when I heard that number, that was surprising for sure.
See how we did in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. We were all in that 30,000 neighborhood. Happ swings and misses at a changeup. It looks like I was a little bit closer, but I was even 9,000 off. Very few people left the park during the rain delay. Some did. Most have hung around. Happ will take a strike, 2-2. Happ has flied to center, drawn a walk, and bounced out. And the 2-2 to Ian. Strike 3 call. He knew it. He got caught looking for something off speed. And down he goes, and here's Christopher Morel.
Yeah, no doubt. He took a fastball right down the middle. He was looking for some kind of bender and didn't get it.
Stay tuned for the toast of the game, presented by Benny's and named by Ron Coomer. That's coming up in the 9th inning. As Morel, who started the scoring in the game with a second inning home run, will take ball 1. Morel's homer came against Corbin Burns. Swing and a miss. There's something cool, I think, I've always thought, Ron, for a hitter to homer against a guy who's been a Cy Young Award winner.
Yep. When you hit a bomb against one of the elite, there's no doubt about it. That one carries a little more weight than the other ones.
It's one you'll remember.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. Absolutely.
Morel takes the strike 1 and 2. If you're just joining us a little bit late on this Wednesday night, Morel homered in the second. He checks and takes outside here. Later in that second inning, Nico Horner had a sharp run-scoring single to right. And then Seiya Suzuki, a clutch 2-out run-scoring base hit in the 5th inning. And that's it. 3-0 Cubs. Morel takes a changeup low and away. Webb is the new pitcher for Baltimore. I'm going to go way out on a limb. I'll bet he has a first name. Here is a swing and a foul back.
So he's not like Liberace?
Let's see, what is Mr. Webb's first name?
Sting?
Prince? Jacob Webb. A little dribbler back to the mound, fielded by Webb. And he will throw to first in time. 2 down, 8th inning. Cubs lead 3-0, and the batter now is Dansby Swanson. One more game in this series, then it's on to St. Louis. A late night trip tomorrow. Night game Friday, doubleheader, day-night twin bills Saturday, and then a day game Sunday leading right up to the All-Star break. Breaking ball is high. Cardinals playing a doubleheader today, so 2 doubleheaders in the final week leading up to the break. Mother Nature with a wicked sense of humor sometimes. Here comes the 1-0. Line toward left center on the run, and making the catch is Cowser. They call him the milkman. Cowser made the catch. Cubs go out in order. It's on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs 3, Baltimore nothing. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Jameson Tyone here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Every weight loss journey has a before and an after, but all too often, your after is short-lived, and you find yourself right back where you started. Back to before. Break this cycle with help from Optavia. Our holistic approach includes nutrition, personal coaching, even GLP-1 options if appropriate, through our collaboration with LifeMD, so you can crush your goals and commit to transforming your weight loss journey. Say bye-bye before and hello after the after with Optavia. Learn more at optavia.com/results.
You've reached the Toyota Tacoma hotline. For tips on removing cactus needles from your backside, press 1. If you're face to face with a mountain lion who wants to leave us a message, press 2.
The 2024 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house and owning it. Having an advocate who can help you navigate negotiations, timelines, inspections, and more can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Running a business is hard work. You've been successful because you're willing to get up, get going, and do what needs to be done. And because you know when and how to leverage the right tools and partnerships. Sure Payroll has been a proud partner of businesses like yours for 25 years. We simplify HR, payroll, and benefits so you can be free to dream, create, and succeed. Get your first 6 months free today at surepayroll.com.
Major League Baseball is taking over Texas with the game's biggest events. The action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 15th at 7 p.m. Central. Then catch the 94th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 16th at 6 p.m. Central on Fox. Pat?
Porter Hodge delivers. First pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lined into left field. A base hit for Anthony Santander. So immediately a man on base. Nobody out. The lead is 3-0 Cubs. Westberg steps in. He is 1 for 3 in the game, and he'll take a strike. Rain delay very brief. Did we get the exact length of the delay? Couldn't have been more than about 25 minutes. The 0-1. Downstairs. 1-1. Cubs trying to make it 2 in a row against a very good team in their park. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss. The ball hung a little bit, but no contact by the swing from Westberg.
Yeah, it was kind of one of them things, or it might have been that backup slider where it just never really broke and just stayed on plane. And hitters always expect the ball to break. Sometimes it just doesn't break.
The next pitch bounced over the mound. It's going to be fielded by Swanson. Steps on second. They get 1. And that's all. Dansby took control. Nico Horner was right there, too. He could have grabbed it. But Dansby took control, obviously called for it and said, I've got it. Stepped on the bag. I don't think it was hit sharply enough to get 2, Ron.
No, I don't either. And once it got past Hodge on the bump and goes past in towards second base, you just want to get an out, especially at this time of the game. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do anything where you're giving up an extra 90 feet. Just get an out, play for the next guy.
Austin Hayes fouls it away. First out in the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once. Hayes with a double, a warning track flyout, and a strikeout. Right-hander to right-hander, pitch down low. Nice pick by Amaya. Catchers almost appear to be magicians sometimes when they backhand a ball in the dirt cleanly. 20,000 plus looking on. Most have hung around. Here's a fly ball to center. Routine if I ever saw one for Pete Crow Armstrong, and that's out number 2. Good job by Hodge. Keeps the blood pressure low when you get routine plays for the defense this stage of the game.
Yeah, good fastball inside to get the routine fly ball. And he's rushing it up there, too. You're talking a guy throwing, he's 95, 96 miles an hour. So with a little bit of movement running in on the right-handed hitter. That one got in on the hands and just hit a little pop-up.
Tommy Hodevy, the pitching coach, he's not going to make a change. Craig Counsell does the changes, pitching changes, that is. But this is probably a little strategy session regarding Ryan O'Hearn, who's going to be batting against Hodge. And Hodge is still kind of a young, inexperienced big leaguer, Ron. He might know the scouting report. It's just a reminder.
Yeah, absolutely. And, at this point in the game, you want to give the situation, too. We're in the 8th inning with 2 outs. You got a 3-run lead. So we want to go on the attack. You don't want to, be too fine and walk a guy and bring the tying run to the plate. So let's go on the attack, and let's make our pitches.
O'Hearn fouls it away. Ryan O'Hearn, pinch hitting. Hector Neris throwing in the Cub bullpen. Bush holding the runner Santander at first. This pitch is taken down low for a ball. That is actually Westberg at first. Two down. Cubs lead by 3. Bottom of the 8th. A runner at first. The 1-1 pitch from Porter Hodge. O'Hearn takes one right down the middle. What's on your mind for 1 and 2, Ron?
I would go at that slider down and in, try to bounce it down on his back foot. See if you can get a punch. You get that or the high heater. You get a couple options.
And now the 1-2. Here it comes. Bouncing ball to short. Swanson's got it. Throws to first. Inning over. Very nice job by the young right-hander Porter Hodge. Baltimore does not score. We go to the 9th inning. Cubs 3, Baltimore nothing. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Catch every moment of every game all season long on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Get back on your weight loss journey with Optavia. Our holistic approach focuses on the whole person, so you can commit to transforming your weight loss journey. Say bye-bye before and hello after the after. Learn more at optavia.com/results.
This summer, take a trip down memory lane with me and hear from the legends of baseball. I'm Brett Boone from the Brett Boone Podcast. Every week I have a conversation with one of baseball's greats to talk about the glory days and reflect on today's game. Randy Johnson, Pete Rose, Deion Sanders, Jay Buhner, Albert Bell, and Goose Gossage, they've all shared their wisdom with stories of their playing days. To hear who's next, follow and listen to the Brett Boone Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Uni is here to light up your backyard shindigs this summer with the brand new Coda 2 Max gas-powered pizza oven. The Coda 2 Max sports a massive 24-inch cooking area, and it's got 2 independently controlled temperature zones. That means you can roast a chicken on one side while baking a hot, crispy, cheesy New York-style pizza on the other. You can even monitor temperatures via the Uni app on your smartphone. Make your summer an Uni Coda 2 Max summer. Learn more at uni.com. That's OONI.com.
Sweat? You mean armpit tears of weakness brought about by poor deodorant choices? Say goodbye to that salty river that floweth from your underarm with Old Spice Swagger Antiperspirant. Made for 24/7 sweat protection with daily use and an undeniable smell of cedarwood and lime. Giving you the confidence you need to quit your job, move to a remote island, and spend your days frolicking with dolphins. Old Spice Swagger Antiperspirant. Shop Old Spice now.
Cubs have not walked all game, but a reminder that walks by opposing pitchers are sponsored by North Shore Adult Diapers. Reassuringly strong protection for even the heaviest control problems. Visit northshore.com. Huh?
New man on the mound for Baltimore. Opposing pitching changes as Dylan Tate will take over on the hill. Big, tall right-hander. Pete Crow Armstrong leads it off for the Cubs and fouls it back out of play. Opponents' pitching changes. Those are always brought to you by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Here comes the 0-1 by Tate. Crow Armstrong waiting and taking a ball outside. The lead is 3-0 here in the ninth. Night game tomorrow. Actually, late afternoon Chicago time, 5:35. This one is fouled off to the left out of play. Cubs have won 4 of 5 going back to the holiday of the 4th of July when they beat the Phillies in the finale. There's a drive foul left side. Then the Cubs took 2 out of 3 against the Angels over the weekend. And now trying to make it 2 in a row here. So trying to make it 5 out of 6.
You're just a different team when you swing the bat. When you get hits and you're starting to, do some things situationally. You've hit a couple home runs in this series.
Crow Armstrong swings and misses at a low changeup, out number 1.
There for a while, the Cubs were in that 2, 3, 4, 5 hits a game. You're just not going to win ball games that way. Now, here in this stretch, you're talking about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hits a game. A couple guys hit with a little thunder and hit a ball out of the ballpark. And now you're looking at winning baseball.
Miguel Amaya takes a strike.
It takes so much pressure off your bullpen by giving yourself a couple-run lead than every game being, down to the wire with every pitch determining the game.
Bounce to the hole at short. Cutting in front of the shortstop is Urias. The new third baseman throws to first in time. Ramon Urias makes the play. 2 down. Cubs lead 3-0 in the ninth. And now Nico Horner will bat.
And Pat, the hardest working player of the game, sponsored by Bosch Power Tools. What hard workers deserve. And got a few candidates here. It's kind of been the way the offense has gone today. You had quite a few guys contribute today.
Horner bounces it foul.
But some good defensive plays by Swanson. He's got 2 hits, a single and a double. And he scored a run in that second inning. So Dansby Swanson will be our hardest working player of the game today.
That makes sense to me. And we're going to pick a catch of the game, sponsored by Catch Des Moines. These aren't so hush-hush in Des Moines, where only the S's are silent. Discover the best of the Midwest at CatchDesMoines.com. Trying to think, has there been a great defensive play by a Cub tonight? Swing and a miss by Horner. The count 0-2. A lot of routine plays, as a matter of fact, behind Shota Imanaga. He was sharp tonight.
What about the Bush catch of the foul ball right near the railing?
Yeah,
I like that call, Zach. And since you came up with that nice idea, you go ahead and read that commercial. Here's a liner to left down the line. Horner's going to get a single. He might try for 2. He's going for 2. There's going to be a play. The throw to second, the slide, the tag. Safe at second base. The second baseman, Westberg, says, let's take another look. He thought he tagged Nico, who went in dramatically head first. Second base umpire Dan Merzel, right on top of the call, said he was safe. And what do you think, Ron?
I think he's safe. They're not going to challenge. And this play, this double is created out of the first 2 steps out of the box by Nico. He hits this ball down the line, but catches it off the end of the bat some and dumps it down the line into kind of a medium left field. And, I mean, he goes flying into second base. I'm surprised the bag stayed in the dirt, actually, that he didn't just tackle the bag and it go into left field with him. But great hustle by Nico to get that double.
I don't think the Orioles are going to challenge that call.
No, they are not. Yep.
They've looked at the video, and sure enough, that's a 2-bagger for Nico Horner. Doubles by Cubs batters. Sponsored by Traffic Tech. Double up your business with Traffic Tech, the hardest working team in transport. You never know. That might be a big run at second. Let's see if Michael Busch can drive him in.
You would love to drive that run in here and make it a 4-run lead.
Here's a little looper, shallow left, base hit. Horner's going to score. Cubs lead 4-0. A little flare the other way by Michael Busch. His second hit tonight, his 6th hit in the 2 games against Baltimore.
Yeah, and that's just a big swing of the bat. Michael Busch gets jammed by this ball, and I don't think he knew where the ball went when he first hit it. It went down the left field line, and he was looking the other way. And finally figured out, I better run. And you know what it is? I thought he'd get jammed. He actually hits it right off the end of the bat, a cue shot. So that makes more sense. But it's a big RBI single for Michael Busch.
Miles Mastrobuoni will take a strike. And the At Our Best moment of the game is sponsored by Loyola Medicine. When things are at their worst, we're at our best. Loyola Medicine. Now, last night, as I recall, we said it was one of the best Cubs games all year.
Yeah.
This one isn't too far behind when you consider the great outing by Imanaga, the clutch hits by the Cubs. They lead 4-0, out hitting Baltimore 11-8. So I'm just going to say these 2 games have been the best moment of Cubs baseball in quite some time.
Couldn't agree more. You've got you've covered the whole aspect of the game. You've played good defense. You haven't had an error in a couple days. You've situational hit. You've hit with runners in scoring position. You had great pitching.
Mastrobuoni hits a ground ball to first, backhanded by Mountcastle, runs over and steps on the bag to end the inning. But the Cubs are able to scratch out an insurance run. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs 4, Baltimore 0. This is the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
If it happens in a Cubs game, it happens right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
There are a lot of so-called fast food deals out there. But do any of them have the Wendy's Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, crispy fries, everyone's favorite nugs, and a drink for just $5 like Wendy's Biggie Bag? Nope. And that's why no other deals can be called the Wendy's Biggie Bag. That and a little thing called plagiarism. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh. Includes choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery.
There's a mountain range 800 feet below the surface of the Pacific Ocean that submarines must navigate in total darkness. Thousands of miles away, Kendra builds equipment that guides these vessels safely. 2 years ago, she didn't even know there were mountains underwater. Career path upgraded. Learn more about careers in maritime manufacturing at careersbuilttolast.com. Paid for by the U.S. Department of the Navy in partnership with Blue Forge Alliance.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful VC turbo engine, well, we had time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. And Pat, we got to take care of some business real quick. The Catch of the Game, sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Things aren't so hush-hush in Des Moines, where only the S's are silent. Discovered the best of the Midwest at CatchDesMoines.com. And Michael Busch had the catch of the game in the 3rd inning.
Right you are, Zach. We have reached the moment of truth, the bottom of the 9th inning. Hector Neris working on Colton Cowser. And the first pitch is in for a strike. Cowser, nothing for 3. McCann is on deck, and then Henderson. Big run-scoring single by Bush in the top of the inning. There's something about leading by 4, because then even if you would have a semi-disaster and they would load the bags and a guy hits a long home run, you're only tied.
That's right. The fourth run is huge, no doubt about it.
Neris, veteran right-hander, bending over at the waist, gets the sign. Always works out of the stretch. Fastball swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down, bottom of the 9th inning. There is not a save on the line for Hector Neris. Cubs trying to make it 2 in a row, and 5 of their last 6. Is this finally going to be the stretch of ball that we've been anticipating really from day 1 this season, Ron?
Well, you knew the Cubs are capable because they've got the starting pitching that keeps you in the game.
Off speed outside to the left-handed batting Kjerstad.
You just know at the end of the day, you've got to be able to swing the bat, get some hits, drive in some runs, and if you can do that, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
Kjerstad swings and misses. Spells his last name K-J. E-R-S-T-A-D. And KJ is a little intimidating. Here's the 1-1. Line drive into right field, a base hit. On the wet track, Bush couldn't really make the kind of a dive he wanted to make. It's a clean single for Kjerstad. And Ron, who do you like for the toast of the game? Presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. Benny's is the official champagne provider of the Cubs. Who do you like?
Well, I think it's a pretty easy choice again tonight. Shota Imanaga, 6 innings, 6 hits, 6 punch-outs, 1 walk, but there's a couple key stats we haven't mentioned. No runs, no earned runs for Shota in 6 innings. He pitched outstanding against one of the best offenses in baseball. Great job by Shota to give the Cubs a chance here in 2 outs to win another ballgame.
Fastball strike. For one thing, Baltimore leads the big leagues with 147 home runs. So when you work 6 or 7 innings and keep the ball in the yard, that's a major accomplishment against this team.
Absolutely.
Here comes the 0-2. Instead, the batter backs away. Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar is 2 for 8 in this series. Left-handed batter, right-handed veteran pitcher. Short lead at first, the 0-2. Bouncing ball to second. Horner goes to Swanson for 1. Over to first. Double play. Cubs win the game. Beautifully done. Horner to Swanson to Bush. 4-6-3, inning-ending and game-ending twin killing. The Cubs have made it 2 in a row in Baltimore. How about that?
Excellent ball game for the Cubs. They're not going to challenge this last play as the umpires were waiting, but they're not. The Cubs are going to win this game, and a 4-0 shutout victory for the Cubs. Great job by the staff between Shota and the guys out of the pen. And, once again, it's key hits, long ball, and very good defense, and you win another ball game. Very nice 2-game stretch here for the Cubs here in Baltimore. This is a very good Baltimore team.
Cubs congratulating one another over in front of the third base dugout. Lots of high fives, lots of slaps on the back, and a lot of smiles. Cubs win 4-0. Back with the totals right after this. You're listening to The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Cody Bellinger here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
We all belong outside. We're drawn to nature, whether it's the recorded sounds of the ocean we doze off to, or the succulents that adorn our homes. Nature makes all of our lives, well, better. Despite all this, we often go about our busy lives removed from it. But the outdoors is closer than we realize. With All Trails, you can discover trails nearby and explore confidently with offline maps and on-trail navigation. Download the free app today and make the most of your summer with All Trails.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation. Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card? Uh-huh. Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase. Really? Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
For conversations with the baseball legends, check out the Brett Boone Podcast. Hall of Famers and All-Stars share stories from their playing days and offer their insights on today's game. Follow and listen to the Brett Boone Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Maybe you're deep in a K-drama binge session, or you don't feel like cooking, or you're waiting on an email. Honestly, you don't need an excuse to order McDelivery, but there's plenty if you want one. Order McDelivery in the McDonald's app today.
This summer, enjoy less doggy paddle and more paddle shifter. Less summer heat and more wind in your hair.